This is Honest Ave.
Hard questions. This is where we answer questions hard.
He is one of the most exciting artists that I've had the pleasure of meeting recently. He blew up on TikTok with 1.8 million followers, dropped an EP that went viral, and now he's on a sold-out tour across America. This dude's story is fascinating, and today, look, we just sit in this tent and chop it up. It's an amazing hang. Ave is super funny. He actually blew up making comedy videos that then turned into, him putting out his music and being more vulnerable. And he breaks down the entire process, how he blew up, where he came from, his humble beginnings, living in Missouri in a house with like 11 people, surrounded by drugs and violence. And it even tells us like funny stories of just growing up, the kind of trouble that him and his friends used to get into, and eventually how he made it out, got a record deal, and is living the American dream. If you're not familiar with him, I know we don't do a lot of music episodes, but this one is worth your time. Come hang out with us in the tent and enjoy the conversation with Honest Ave. So, sit back, relax, and welcome to camp. I feel you got a lot of stories growing up in Missouri.
Mad stories.
Like, what was
Extreme.
Bring me back to like where you grew up. Explain where you lived.
Yeah.
Like, what is the environment when you're like 5 years old?
Okay, when I'm like 5 years old, my parents had just got divorced. My parents got divorced when I was 4, so I don't really remember anything before them being divorced.
Sure.
Like 5 years old is probably some of my first memories.
What are your parents like? What does your mom do? What does your dad do?
My mom, at that time,
Yeah.
my mom is like, she sells dope, and she's like a heavy addict.
Whoa.
And she's like, she had left my dad because she had like cheated on him, and like she had like cheated on my dad and had like a baby, like out of wedlock or whatever you want to call it, and then I'm the makeup baby, and so they kind of like got like together and like had me, and then like shortly after I was born, they like split again, and my mom was like a heavy user. And she's
as
like,
opposed to like a
she's cool
casual, as opposed to like a mild.
like
you know what I mean?
dude. No,
Just
no,
like
no.
I feel like if you're doing,
I remember being at the creek, and I'm like swimming. I probably was like 7, 8 years old. I don't know. And all of a sudden, like boom, black trucks are pulling up at the creek, like, and like they're like jumping out and they're like yelling at my mom, and they like go up to my mom's car and like bust her trunk open, and it's like they're like raiding her, and she like went to the feds that night.
whoa.
And I was like a little 7-year-old kid just like standing there like, wait, I went home with a boyfriend.
What?
Like, so my mom was like in mad abusive relationships, all the cliche shit of like, like the tweaker shit, and but I loved her. She was cool still. It was all good. I still fuck with to this day. I love me a good.
Yeah, you ever dated?
Have I dated one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't really dated like that. I've only had 2 girlfriends.
You smashed it though?
Would I smash it? Yeah. R.I.P. to Jenny Crow, by the way.
Who's that?
That's our town. Yeah, where I'm growing up. R.I.P. to her, cause
No.
shit.
What happened?
How did she die?
Yeah, osteoporosis?
Nah, bro, she got hit by a car.
No.
Yeah, she used to walk around. Jenny Crow, R.I.P. And whatever the religious, R.I.P. dude, like dead ass.
What did you grow up? I feel like in your town,
Man.
people would be like Christian.
It's like it's like a cool little blend of like, there's like a Catholic school, so there's like mad Catholic kids, and then if you're not a Catholic kid, you're like your parents are probably on drugs, yeah.
Whoa.
Or they're like secretly on drugs.
And
like
so
a lot of people are secretly on drugs,
Yeah, of course. I mean, all these like moms that are doing like lorazepam and
but I mean
pills.
like I meant like though they're
Like secretly on
pills too, but like like secretly on like I know that same homie, I'm not gonna say her name, but the same homie that I'm telling you that was like a 45-year-old that was facilitating us to do drugs as teenagers. She's like everybody in the town like would ridicule her because it's a small town, and they're like, oh, they know that she's on drugs, but she would be doing drugs with everybody's parents.
What?
And it's like, only if you were getting caught really are you being like ridiculed or whatever. But
and so what was your dad like at the time? When
and
you
my
were
dad
young?
was cool at the time, man. Like he was great. He worked like a cool factory job, He was like he played like in a men's league in baseball. So like I grew up like watching that and thinking it was like badass, He was like
You thought he was pro.
Oh God, I did. I remember one time he was rounding second, and he tripped on second and like rolled halfway to third, and I'm like, okay, he's not pro.
That was the moment.
I'm pretty sure this is like all fake. Like, what's going on here?
He did a Looney
What
Tunes
the fuck are
spin.
these guys doing?
Yeah.
Nah, he was cool though, and he like worked a cool job, and like he was at work most of the time, but he really held it down like until I was a teenager. Like really, was the only like dude in the house. Like he was making the money, and stuff like that, and him and his wife, she was like just a waitress, so you know she would be like working every day all the time. My stepmom would. She's basically my mom, but she like raised me like my mom. But yeah, he was just like a regular dad, bro. Like a big dude, mad tattoos. He drove Harleys and fucking had a truck and But yeah, we like kind of grew up like where I'm from, bro. Like we grew up on $15,000 a year, and that's broke as. But like it's not the brokest where I'm from. There's like people that are growing up, not now, but like at the time, there's people growing up on 10. You know, and
15,000
yeah,
a year.
Yeah, like my dad made 15, or I think maybe on his best year he made 25 a year, and so like we were like he was getting paid, you know, like $11 an hour.
So you lived with your biological dad and your stepmom,
and 5 brothers.
5 brothers,
4 brothers and a sister, and then like a dude that like is basically like my brother. Yeah, and
wow.
Yeah, we had like maybe like 11 people in the house, probably like about at all times. My stepmom, my dad, and then me and all my siblings, and then like my older brothers got like we call him Josh, and everybody has a Josh in my family, and it's like a friend that's parents are like worse, you know, and maybe like Josh, for instance, like his parents are passed away, and so he would like be at the crib all the time. My parents were like his parents. Same with my bro Breezy. He like grew up like my brother, and his dad like was whooping his ass in high school, so we like came and picked him up, and like he lived with me and shit. So there was like 11 of us, 12 of us in one like 3-bedroom house.
And so everyone's bunking
4
up.
bedroom. Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, we're deep. Oh yeah, and there's no AC. And oh, you remember the ice storm? Oh wait, you're not from Missouri.
No. Alrighty, don't skip forward, guys, because I am on the road, world's fastest ad read, coming at you. I'm going to be in Indianapolis, Buffalo, Raleigh, Poughkeepsie, Portland, Oregon, Fort Worth, Texas, Austin, Texas, Stanford, Philly, Levittown, Chandler, Arizona, San Diego. I'm also going to be adding Toronto, Montreal, as well as Washington, D.C., and a bunch of other dates. Dates are in the description, also in probably the comments of this episode. Go see me on the road. Come hang out. I'll be hanging out with everyone after the show. Come shake my hand. Call me an idiot. Whatever you want to do, I will be there. Additionally, I will be doing my 1 hour of stand-up comedy. I'm very proud of this hour. I'm really excited to share it with you guys, and it would mean the world if everyone could come on out. And what do you wear to a show on the road? That's a great question. You can go to campgoods.co. That's right. We got merch. We got camp merch. We got hats, hoodies, t-shirts. A lot of stuff is out of stock. Things have been selling like hotcakes, but we're going to be restocking everything in all the sizes. So you can go there right now, get all the merch, get all the coolest clothing in the podcast game. We're going to be updating that site regularly. And if you come out to a show, I'd love to see you sporting some of the threads that we got up online. I will see you guys there. Let's get back to the show.
In 2007, I think it was, there was an ice storm, and it the power was out for like 2 weeks. Like there was like nobody had power. Everybody was like don't like nobody had shit, and we was like 15 deep in the living room of my house with sheets like all over the walls and shit like that, just like using each other's body heat and shit for like warmth, you know?
What?
Yeah. But
it sounds like Deadliest Catch.
That's
crazy.
Cool.
Like it was that.
No, it was
like
it was
freezing
cool.
cold in your home.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. We would just in times like we was in a 2-bedroom house, and there was like mad windows upstairs, and they were all like busted out, you know, because like maybe we'd be rowdy, or like we moved in and they were already shitty, but like that we'd be getting rowdy and shit. My parents like could never fix them, so we'd have like plastic on the windows and shit like that. But like in the winter, like if it snowed and we didn't like take precaution, there would be snow inside, just fucking
in the
upstairs. House. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, definitely.
Throw a couple of beers in there. You're like, yo, we got a fridge.
Like, yo, yeah, you can fucking put them in the fucking ice for sure. But you know, but like looking back, it seems like I never realized that it was like that, you know? I never realized that like, oh, this is not like normal and shit. Like everybody where I'm from in the wintertime or the summertime has their windows, you know, plasticed up because the house is old as fuck, and like, you know, it lets the cold in or the heat out or like whatever, you know. So I didn't really realize that it's like that was like sketchy as fuck. And
so,
there would be times where like other parents wouldn't let their kids hang out with us, and I never got it as a kid. I never got it. I'm like, why the fuck?
Oh, those parents are stuck up, like they're being weird, whatever.
Yeah. I would just think like, what the fuck?
They didn't want their kid to be frozen.
Yeah, literally, or they wanted to make sure that the kid was gonna eat 3 times like that day, you know, type.
So after your parents parents split, did you hang with your mom much?
Yeah, bro. So like I'm the only kid. So R.I.P. to my older brother. Me and him, like made the conscious decision to stay with my mom. So we would do like a week with my mom, a week with my dad, a week with my mom, a week with my dad. And then whenever I was 15, like there was like lawyers and shit that came to my house and they like made me make a decision like, who are you gonna live with full time? Are you gonna live with your dad or your mom? That was like a tough decision. I almost lived with my mom, but she was still like, a drug addict back then, and it was like terrible conditions. But I love my mom, right? Like, so me and I would want to be in there helping her and shit. But I decided to live with my dad, and like low key, thank God I did, because like I was one bad decision away from being a fucking in jail. Like my homies went to jail. My best friend, my childhood best friend, was in jail from 17 to 24.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I was one decision away from that. I feel like if I had lived with my mom, it would have been different. But
yeah, the exposure probably would have been really negative.
Yeah, low key, yeah.
So growing up, like going house to house, like 1 week on, 1 week off. When you're with your dad, it's not, perfect, but like it seems like there's a little bit more structure, right? You got like all the siblings, everyone's kind of doing their thing.
Right.
Like, are your siblings going to school regularly? Like, is everyone like studying? Like, what's the like the structure on like a day to day?
Yeah, it's crazy that you even say that because it was so different from my mom and my dad's. It was like almost like living two lives.
Yeah,
but
you're Hannah Montana.
No, like I felt like that.
Like white trash Hannah Montana.
Yes, exactly, bro. I go to my mom's house and I would be like real life trailer park white trash kid that's like running around in a shitty diaper, and then I go to my dad's house and I would be like, I was the quarterback of the football team and the point guard, and like I was I played shortstop. Like I was playing all these sports. My sister she went to school. She graduated. She was like an athlete. It was cool to watch her. My oldest brother dropped out when he was 16 and then moved back in when he was 20 and graduated at 21.
Oh, nice.
My second oldest brother, I remember this like yesterday. He said he was 16 years old and he went and he got in trouble for smoking weed and he went into my parents' room and he said, "Fuck you, I'm moving out." He said, "I'm moving to LA. I want to go smoke weed and be a rock star," and he never came back. And then
wait, what happened? Where's he at now?
Right, he lives in LA. He's got a band, The Captain's Son. They're pretty dope. Yeah, they're
real
the shit. Yeah.
Do you hit him? Like, are you guys
we
still
talk?
in touch?
Yeah, when I go to LA, sometimes he slides on the studio, but our styles are so much different, and also, bro, I'm a 9-year-old kid when he moves out, and so like I don't really know him that well.
And then you don't see him from 9 to
I've never seen him. Yeah, and then
20.
Then he just comes for Christmas and shit. So like he's that's my brother, but like
what's the name of the band?
The Captain's Son. They're sick.
The
bro.
Captain's Son. Can we pull that up, Miles? I would love to see what they look like.
Hey, Miles, the Captain's Son. Yeah, they're cool. So this is like the guy that got me inspired. Like, I mean, all my brothers were like rock stars. SON. Yeah, it's all good. All my brothers were like rock stars and shit. Like they all wanted to be, but these guys really inspired me. He used to have a band called The One You Love to Hate. The third picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is them.
So which one's your bro?
That's my brother right there.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know.
He's a lead singer and lead guitar.
So was he making music when you were growing up?
The shit, man. They were called The One You Love to Hate. He was a punk band. Like, I remember, bro, I tell people this all the time. Like, I fell in love with music because I grew up where, like, I would come home from school. My brothers just, they're like, my parents don't get home until 6:37 every night. Like you don't see your parents until 7 o'clock every single night. So I go home and I'm little bro. I'm 8 years old and my 16-year-old brothers are all smoking pot upstairs, hiding it from the parents, locking the door. We're not allowed to hang out. I can hear them playing music. I would walk in and like hear muffled music upstairs, bro. And I would go up there and I would try to get in. They wouldn't let me in the door. I'm little bro. But I would watch through this crack in the door. There was like a board that was like nailed to the door and instead of an actual door. And there was like a crack and I would watch them like for hours play. And like he would have a buddy there with sticks and like and it was like, bro, it was the coolest shit to me, bro. And they had like band posters, you know what I'm saying, in their rooms and shit like that. And they would have like instruments and they would be like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
so smoking cigarettes was cool as fuck. Yeah. I would be like, fuck.
Yeah, I know that feeling, bro. So my parents had 7 kids.
Holy shit.
And so similar vibe. I'm number 6 of the 7.
Word. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck. You built this? What am I doing? You built this at 28, man? What the fuck am I doing, bro?
Bro, I'm washed. That's what happens,
That's crazy.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Wow.
You quit jerking off, you get so much time. You know
I can't do that. I'm not ready for that yet.
not far. Eventually. But but yeah, so I was 6 of 7 and growing up in the house, like all my older siblings were doing shit.
Yeah.
And I would just like peek through. Like I was just trying to get in and always giving the unplugged in controller.
Yeah.
Like all that, you know what I mean?
Shit. Yeah, definitely.
So it was just like, it was
Yeah, it was one of those times. Like, it's weird because I feel like generationally, like I'm technically Gen Z, but
when were you born? 97.
I was born at the end of '96.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, so you about to be
September
29.
'96. Yeah,
You
September.
really hanging on to that 28 thing, huh?
Exactly. Bro, I got till September. What are you talking about? Fuck out of here, bro. I'm not gonna be 29 in September.
Yeah.
How many months is that? We're in what? Dude, we're 5 months away. That's
All
crazy.
Right, man.
I'm not
You're
rounding
closer
down.
to it.
I'm not rounding down. When's your birthday?
In April. I just turned 27.
Stop it.
I'm
bro.
like, I barely got pimples, bro. I'm like fucking, I'm a baby basically
you're
compared
old,
to you, bro.
You're so old.
Are you serious?
You
dude?
look terrible,
dude. Look at me, bro. Oh, there's no mirror in here? Thank God for you, man. Yeah. This is called sleep.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, I'm working on the beard thing.
No, the stash looks nice, I'll be honest. I
Thanks,
like
I
it.
just got it trimmed up.
Yeah. Really? You went to a barber?
Or he came to me, yeah.
Okay, all right, jeez.
Yeah, no. This guy behind me.
Okay.
This
You
guy's
bring
a
him with
player. No. He just sent me a barber. He said I gotta have a real barber.
Okay, yeah.
This motherfucker said he was grabbing my shit.
Oh, damn.
It was nice.
What kind of barber was he? Dominican?
I don't
Puerto
think I'm
Rican?
allowed to say that.
No, you can say it.
Puerto Rican. Well, doesn't it feel wrong if we say it?
Bro, you were so proud of yourself.
Feels like we're not supposed to be saying it. Yeah.
Puerto Rican.
Run me back. Yeah. Ask me again. Nah, he's
you're
Puerto Rican.
You're
man.
done
He's cool.
for, by the way. Your career's
Cool.
over.
I know, right? We're edging.
Why would you say Puerto Rican right now,
Dude.
That's so messed up,
bro.
You gotta
Let's
say.
not make it worse.
You gotta
bro.
say Mexican. I think
Mexican,
that's what you're supposed.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Juan, I'm sorry. That
funny
was
as
fucked up. I
fuck.
shouldn't have said that. Sorry,
You're
Juan.
supposed to say Mexican, I think. That's funny, bro.
Yeah, dude. But the barber when they come trim you up,
Different vibe.
They don't touch the hair. They only hit your stash.
Nah. He like, man. This is. Are we gonna get into this?
I'm here.
He trims me up in the back. You know, he gives me a little undercut. This feels fucking.
It looks nice. Okay.
This feels femboyish.
It feels femboy.
Yeah, man. So he just comes and cleans me up. You know, he kind of comes and, you know, knocks off every single dead skin molecule on my face.
Hell yeah.
This is like after 4 days of trying as hard as I can for it to come back. So,
bro, I got married in 2020. 2 days before my wedding, I was like, I have this crazy beard. I never do shit with it. I just let it happen. And I try my best. I don't know how to trim it. So I was like, I'm going to go to a barber for real to get my shit nice. Mm-hmm. And so we got married in Florida. I Googled barbershop. I don't go to a barber. I go to like a salon. You know what I mean?
Same.
I have like I got like a cute like sorority girl doing my hair. You know what I mean? Like I have like women. I have women. I don't let men touch it. I just let women touch it. Mm-hmm. And so I go to this barber for the first time, and the only barbers in my area are all Dominican. So I pulled up and I walked in there. I was like, hey, man, I'm getting married. And I think it was that day. I was like, I'm getting married in a few hours. I just need my beard trimmed up. You got me? He's like, yeah, bro, no problem, Poppy. Just sit down. And so then he starts to trim it. And I stopped him and I didn't know how to bring it up. But I was like, I'm white.
Was he fading you in or something?
I could feel him starting to
see it.
And I was like, yo, just don't make me. I don't know how to say it.
He faded me up first. I looked at it and I was like, yo, I kind of fuck with this. Everybody in the room started laughing. The engineer especially, he started busting my balls. If
you're just not ready for it, and all of a sudden, you know, you're Avery from Missouri, you know what I mean?
I'm with that though. Hey, look.
You're white boy Avery, and then you show up and you're like fucking suavemente. It's like, yo, what happened? You know what I mean? That's what I did. I walked out of there. I was like, yo, don't make me too Dominican. He's like, bro, he was laughing. He's like, nah, bro, don't worry. I got you. I was Dominican, bro.
When you walked out?
I was Zorro. Like, I walked out of there, I was fucking edged up perfectly. Like, my shit was square. Like, it was super thin. I called her, because, like, you're not supposed to see your wife before you get married. Mm-hmm. So, like, I called her, and I was like, I FaceTimed her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, babe, I don't know how to tell you this. We're getting married in 2 hours. I fucked up so bad. You're marrying Marcos. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know how to tell you this. And so I FaceTimed her and she goes, honey, I love you no matter what you look like.
Oh, word. She lied like a motherfucker.
She lied, bro. She for sure lied. And then at the very end, she was like, yo, just trim up the corners so it's not so sharp. Make it more round.
So what, that was 6 years ago?
Five
5 years ago?
I mean, 4.5. You know what I mean?
Imagine being married
if you're gonna make me round
for 5 years and still acting like a young dude, saying that he's young. You've been married for 5 years.
You're as old as me, to be honest.
Dude,
you got tattoos and shit. You know what I mean? You aged in super speed, being from Missouri. You know what I mean?
I did.
That's what happens, bro. When you grow up in the cold, like that's the only reason you look young. That's because you were frozen for 5 years. You know what I mean? That's what happens.
You know, it's really cold in the winter and hot as fuck in the summer.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
So wait,
have you been to Missouri?
I went to Kansas City. Which is not even, right?
Right.
It's Kansas.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, that's cool.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we just did shows there.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Like what kind of show?
Just comedy shows.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do comedy shows? You do stand-up comedy?
What did they tell you before you came here? They were like, you were like, yo, there's a tent? You're like,
I think, honestly, I'm kind of like,
what is going on?
No, I think I got like they don't like to tell me a whole lot. If they tell me shit, I might start.
They're afraid you're going to bug out?
Yes.
You're just going to come in here and be like, bro, I want to do comedy now.
Damn, so this is a comedy show? All right, bet. I was
Now
wondering what was up with all the racism. I'm just playing.
I'm just trying to make you feel comfortable, bro. I'm trying to make you feel comfortable.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Everyone from Missouri, dude.
That's so funny, bro. Because it's on my bus, like my I'm on the bus on tour with like all my best friends. Like these, I grew up with these guys, right? I mean, best friends was a stretch, but I did grow up with all these guys. Like I've known them since I was a kid, and our bus driver is like he's like a redneck dude, you know, and he owns a trucking company, and he's like all that. So it's like anytime like anything even gets close to that, we're like looking at him like, hey, bro, chill out.
Not too much.
Hey, not too much, bro. Yeah.
Was the whole town you grew up in, was it all white trash, or was there like other?
So you know, it's crazy. Like to be completely real, bro. I mean, you can Google it. Like it's a notoriously like racist place.
Really?
Where I'm at in Southwest Missouri. I think that the town that I grew up with was the last town in America to lynch a person for being black.
What?
Yeah, so it's like it's like that. Whenever I was growing up, like it kind of started to get more diverse. My godfather is a black man, and his kids are all black, and my dad, and they moved to town, and so there was like a family of you know 10 black people, and then the town next to me is Monette, Missouri, and they are famous for they Tyson's is there, Tyson's chicken plant, and they don't. You can work there without any ID, so you don't have to have a green card and you don't have to do anything. So they're famous for that. So a lot of people come from Mexico to Monette. So there was quite a bit of Hispanic people, and then there was like a family or maybe two families of like black people, but it's like mostly fucking like those guys.
Whoa.
You know, like it's like, yeah, it's pretty rough, but
so
I think it's getting way better, dude. And honestly, like I visited recently, and like even dudes that whenever I was growing up were like assholes and stuff, they're kind of like getting soft and stuff. I think it's way better now.
Yeah. But was there a moment, or was there like a development for you to like kind of get away from that? Because obviously you're not racist now, but like in the time where you grew up and the people, maybe it was like a little sketchy. So like at what point did you realize like, that's fucked up?
Well, dude, thankfully, I'm blessed. My stepmom is she's from Atlanta, Georgia, and she's like, she grew up without any white people, and so I met her whenever I was 4 years old, and so she like it was never like that for me. My house was always like a safe spot for shit like that, and my mom was very like, she would let us know like whenever, you know, if we had like a friend, one of my good friends was a Mexican kid, and there was like times where people weren't treating him right, and she would like tell us like they're doing that because he's Mexican and you guys are white. And my mom also said shit like, back then she would say finna or tryna, or like she talked like she was from the hood, like she had more of a hood slang. She spoke in like Ebonics or whatever it's called, and so it was just like different. I think I was like really aware of it, but I would see it everywhere, but you know, it was never like never in our house was it ever like that. Right. I never one time grew up like that. Like I always knew I wasn't even allowed to say like the R word, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Shit like that. Fucking ding! There's like a fucking cat. And like when I
was gonna let it slide. I'm like, all right.
No, I almost said it. But no, like I wasn't allowed to say shit like that. Like my stepmom was like from the jump. She like let us know. So, but you know, we grew up and we seen it. And also, I think my stepmom is like my core friend group, and the people I grew up with have more of a sense of like culture and stuff because of my stepmom. Like you know, she would get on their ass about like, yo, like, you know, that's.
So your stepmom really held it down.
She held it down like a motherfucker.
And like the house, like you even mentioned, like Josh's came through. Like everyone.
The Joshes, man, we all got a Josh. Mine's name is Shay. Shout out to him. He's definitely gonna watch this.
That's crazy. And so they would just come over and just hang, and like that
live there, man. Yeah,
they would
like, live there, eat dinner. Like I would come home. Maybe me and my brothers aren't there for the night, and we would come home, and my mom would have a hamburger helper made, and Josh would be at the table eating it with, you know, Trevor Davis, which is another dude that was like the homie.
Did you fight growing up?
Yeah.
But
You know?
how
I
often?
mean, I had like mad older brothers, often as fuck. Honestly, yeah, we was like fighting. That's kind of like we were little shitheads.
And
we was fighting every day, basically.
were you good?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my ass beat, but I can get down though. Yeah, what's up? Nah, I mean, like, bro. Honestly,
you can't even help it. You can't even help it.
Like,
think about the idea of fighting. You're like, all right, yo, what's good?
No, it's funny that you say that though, because I've always been like that. I've always been, like I've always been down to squabble up. But I was just in Detroit, or maybe no, I was in Madison, Wisconsin. And I'm with my boys, and we're on tour. And this dude, we're walking across the street, and this dude almost hit us with his car. And he rolls his window down, and he's like, "Fuck you!" And I was like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "I'm gonna pull over," and I was like, "Do it!" And he pulls over, and so I'm like, "Okay, bet I'm about to get my ones in with this guy." All right, I'm emptying my pockets. I put my hat down, and I square up with him, and I'm like, and we're just like squared up for like a couple of seconds, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't think I have it in me to punch this dude. And it's like taking me a few seconds, and I don't punch him, and all of a sudden, here comes my boy Shay. Boom! Lights him up. Boom! Dude falls down. We ended up like getting a little squabble, but I never even threw a punch. I was like trying to break it up, and then the dude like followed us up the block, and then my other boy Hunter, the bus driver I was telling you about, he fucking clobbered this fuking guy, and like they ended up beating the shit out of this dude, but I didn't even throw a punch.
Wow.
So I think maybe now
you're old.
like I'm a pussy. I think. Low key.
Welcome to the club, baby.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, bro.
Welcome to
I'm
it.
pretty sure I'm a pussy now. But back in the day, I remember.
You were confrontational though. Like you enjoyed the confrontation.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
Actually, not. Actually, I never really enjoyed the conversation. But it was like I was just about to say this earlier. Fighting was like a sport, kind of. It was kind of like I just wanted to win. Like I never really got hella mad like that to like get in fight. Every time I could think of me being hella mad, I always got my ass like whooped. Like the times where I was like fighting and like trying to win, yeah, it would be like kind of more like a sport. And bro, we would meet up like we did this thing on Fridays after school where we went into my buddy's backyard right when his mom built a fence because it was like pretty small and it was like a square, and we would all meet up and just like throw ones there and like fight
like a
there
fight club.
and like bet for money and shit.
You put money on it?
Just like $5-10 and shit. Yeah, I remember one year we all took bottle or sparklers. You ever made a sparkler bomb?
No.
Type shit.
How do you make that?
Yeah, bro. So you get sparklers, a lot of sparklers, like this many worth, and you just like black tape. You light one, it ends up blowing up.
Really?
Yeah, it's like crazy as fuck.
Oh, that's sick as hell.
You gotta Google that shit. Oh, hey, Jamie, pull up sparkler bomb on YouTube. I know a dude that got his hand blown off by this shit. But one year we were betting sparklers near the 4th of July. On fights.
Whoa, and wait, so you guys were fighting and doing
my
sparkler
buddy
bombs?
Alex fought my other buddy Kenny. Yeah, look, that's a sparkler bomb. That's a tiny one though.
Oh, that's a tiny one. All right, let's check it out.
That's like a baby one, bro. Imagine this time.
How fat would you make it?
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm making them this big.
Really?
I make them every year to this day, except they're federally illegal, so I'm joking. But if I did,
yeah. No, this is parody.
It's a parody. Parody's nuts on your face.
I was about to get you with that, I'll be honest. I was about to.
I seen them ladies outside earlier. You seen them ladies? Ladies nuts on your face.
Avery, you really thought you were gonna get me with that? Come on,
I
bro.
almost got your ass.
Let's see.
Man.
Let's
Check
see.
this out.
Damn.
Now imagine that times 10, and then you put a barrel on top, and you screw shit on top, and it blows it like 100 feet in the air.
Oh, that's sick. That's
what
sick.
tweakers do.
Did you ever get arrested when you were a kid?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. Just like bullshit. I got arrested whenever I was like 15 because I ran from they were trying to pull me over. I didn't have a driver's license. I ran from the cops, and then like the next day they like knew where I lived.
Damn.
So they came and arrested me.
I feel like running from the cops shouldn't be illegal.
Yeah, and like dude, it was like kind of we had like there was only one cop on duty where I'm from. You knew
in the
cop.
whole town?
Yeah, there was a cop that got fired one time because like he would come kick it with us. His name was Tiny Tim, and he would like bring us weed.
What did Tiny Tim look like?
Oh man, bro, guess man, he was like 5'6", 5'7". He was like, you guys like cops in here?
I like good people. I like good people.
For sure. Yeah, but he was he was a cop, bro. He was a 5'5" cop. Like,
wow. And you called him Tiny Tim to his face?
Tiny Tim was his name. That was it. He used to live with our homie's dad. Yeah. Just Tiny Tim. My brother actually one time, Tiny Tim fucking tased him, and my brother hit him with a brick in the head. And he locked him up, put him in the back of the car. And I remember my brother, I'm upstairs in my bedroom and I'm watching the cops talk to my parents and they're like, they got all this paper, you know. And my brother's like drunk in the back seat. He's probably like 17, 18. And he's like screaming, Avery, Jamie. And we're like, what? Like upstairs, like watching through the window with the window pulled up. He's like, watch this. He goes, I'm going to count down from 5 and I'm going to break out of here. And the cops are like, Shaylin, like, chill out. He gets all the way down to 1 and he busts the fucking window out with his feet, runs out in handcuffs, starts running down the road. Boom, boom, running down the road, running from the cop. Jukes that motherfucker. Pow. puts the AI moves on him. Boom. Runs down the way. And I remember watching him get tackled. It was actually low-key sad, but like looking back, hilarious.
That's
You could
wild.
get away with shit like that where I'm from because like
You knew all the cops.
Yeah, and the cop would be like, Shaylin, could be no dumbass.
Yeah. Like, I know your mom.
He wouldn't pull his gun and like try to shoot you, you know, or whatever. You know, there was one like sheriff that was kind of an asshole and he would like pull his gun on anything.
Really?
Yeah, like my homegirl at the time, she was like smoking weed on a roof and he like pulled a gun on her and made her jump off the roof and she broke her foot.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
And what did anything happen to him?
She got arrested.
But like, did he get in trouble for like making some teenage girl jump off a roof?
Nah, hell no. He's under investigation right now. I heard on Facebook though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of small town shit like that for real.
Yeah, like the small towns, you know everything, you know everyone.
You know the people that own the stores that you're in.
What's like the craziest thing you and all your boys or even like your siblings got into?
Yeah, like as far as like
just like shenanigans, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think. Like we had there were some dudes behind my house, like it was my brother's friends, and they did a bonfire, and they dumped gasoline on it.
Oh shit!
And you know this.
Yeah.
Explodes.
Boom.
And this thing rippled the entire, like the windows shook.
Oh shit.
And everyone ran outside. This was like 2 a.m.
Oh, word.
And the whole neighborhood is freaked out. The fire department comes. It didn't really even cause a fire. It just was big as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, everyone got in trouble. Like it was a whole thing. Like there's all these like weird little stories, just even like in my suburbs. So I'm like, did you guys do like crazier shit than that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, that sounds like some pretty. It
was fun.
That's some crazy kid shit.
Yeah. What's up, guys? We're gonna take a break really quick because we have a new sponsor of the show that I'm so excited about that I need to tell you. So listen up. Our food is important. What you eat is who you are. It's how you think, how you feel, how you work out. It basically encompasses everything. But unfortunately, our food doesn't have the nutrients we need to be our best. And that's where Symbiotica comes in. Symbiotica is the greatest supplement brand in the world. And here's why. They got all these different supplements. I actually take these every single day. Specifically, the magnesium L-threonate. I take this before I go to sleep, and it helps me sleep better. Magnesium is amazing for helping you go to sleep. Look it up. There's studies everywhere. And this is great because it tastes amazing. It's not some pill. This is the L-threonate. It's sublingual. It actually gets in your blood system faster and will make you sleep better, perform better the next day. And when you sleep better, your hormones reset better, you get stronger, you work out better, all that. Vitamin C, same thing. You need that. It should be in your food, but it's not. And that's where Symbiotica can be the cure. And then, of course, you got liquid colostrum. You probably had colostrum right when you were very first born. If you were breastfed, your mom made colostrum. It is nature's first superfood. It is super dense in nutrients, and right here it is in this package. It'll make you feel amazing. So if you want to perform better at the gym, if you want to perform better at work, if you want to think faster, if you want to be more social, even talking to women, oh, I don't know what to say, I jam up, I get nervous. It's possible some of that anxiety is because you are nutrient deficient. You feel bad. You don't have the adequate stuff in your body to make you be at your best. So if you are interested in being the best you that you can be, go to symbiotica.com/camp for 20% off your order plus free shipping. That is symbiotica.com/camp for 20% off your order and free shipping. This is all stuff I actually use. I'm weirdly obsessed with my health and nourishing my body, and this is the stuff that I take, which is why I'm so excited to tell you guys about it. So check it out, and let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I don't know, shit like that, bro. Yeah, we had whenever I was growing up, I lived a block away from the middle school, which was like an old building from like the 1920s, and that ended up shutting down, and there was like 4 or 5 years where it was abandoned. So that was like a place where we would go hang out, and we would run from the cops. But like where I'm from, bro, like it's different. You know, I might tell you a story and be like, we would run from the cops. There's a story I tell on a different podcast where I'm talking about robbing the concession stand at the high school. Me and my homies did that one night, and we ran from the police like for hours, like on foot. But it's different because like if you can't do that here, like in New York City, you can't do that. That you're getting caught, you're getting your door kicked in, there's guns being drawn,
there's
cameras everywhere. Where I was at, it was like couple of cops trying to like, and they're kind of having fun.
Yeah,
and it's like not that big of a deal because it's like, what did we take? $200 worth of candy from, this tiny concession stand. Like
they also
so
probably
it was
kind of know it
different.
was you.
And they probably know it was us.
So it's like, yo, we're just gonna follow up with his mom tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally. So, but that robbing the concession stand was crazy. But I think just like in general, man, I really lived a childhood of like very little parents. Like it was like I could pretty much do. I could be home whenever I wanted, really. I never really, like, I got in trouble sometimes, but I never got into, like, serious trouble. Like if I was in serious trouble, I'm, like, getting my ass whooped by my dad. I'm not, like, being grounded for a month. Like, I was never grounded.
Got the belt on you?
For a month. The fucking hands, bud.
Oh, really?
Are you serious, man? Yeah,
how,
I'll get the fucking hands, dude.
Like, square up? Or, like, was he, like spanking
unfortunately, look, man. I don't think that the like shit's cool, but like I think I wouldn't. I had to grow up how I did, so I don't blame my dad for none of the shit. But yeah, bro, like there would be times like I remember getting in trouble at after one of my football games for like going and hanging out with these kids instead of coming home. And like when I came home, like my dad fucking yoked me up and like he's pulling me all the way to the bathroom, and I'm like trying to get away from him, and like we ended up falling into the bathroom or into the bathtub, and he's like on top of me. Like smacking me and shit. So it was like that. But I mean, but that's only when I got in trouble for real. That didn't happen a lot, bro. Like, right. I only got in trouble 5 times probably. I would get in like petty trouble and shit and have to do like somebody's chore or I have to take the trash out or some bullshit. But
did you try to stay out of trouble?
Everybody around me was always in so much trouble, bro. I was always just kind of like around it. I never really like did shit to get in trouble, but like my friends were crazy as fuck and like my brothers were too. So I was kind of just around. I think that people knew that too. Like my parents knew like, if there was like a time where maybe I'm getting in trouble, like I probably, wasn't the instigator.
Right.
I was probably just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, or there was times where I was the instigator too. But yeah, I don't think that like, I don't know, they kind of seen me for who I was. Like they knew that I was just an emotional kid. I was never like a fucking bad kid.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not the exact same because it's obviously the environment I grew up in was not at all like that. But like I would see my siblings get in trouble. Because again, I'm number 6 like you. So like I would see my siblings get in trouble and I'd be like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was like, I just won't do that. Like I got to learn from them. You know what I mean? Like they got punished by proxy. Or like, you know what I mean? Like I saw their punishments. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like my sister's like doing drugs, getting DUIs.
Oh, word.
My parents are pissed. And I was like, she was in a biker gang for a little bit. Like she was
what the fuck? How old is your sister?
She's 35
That's tight. What the fuck?
Now she's got 3 kids.
Damn. Do they know about the biker gang stories?
I don't know if they do.
Pretty sick.
I don't know if they do yet.
That's so
Her kids are so cool though.
How many sisters you got?
I got 4 sisters.
Oh shit.
4 sisters, 2 brothers.
Oh shit. Mostly girls then.
But yeah, and my brothers are the oldest, so like I was raised around women. There's only women in the house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Ching.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
That's what's
you know
up,
when
bro.
you have like a banana like in your lunchbox, like everything kind of tastes like banana a little bit.
I wish I could relate, brother. Yeah.
That's me. You know what I mean? Like
word.
I was just around a lot of bananas, so I got a little banana on. You know what I mean? So I dressed good. I caked from my eyebrows a little.
Yeah, I never had a lunchbox. What the fuck?
Fucking blindside.
No. We was eating school lunch, homie.
That's crazy. So who was your craziest friend?
Like craziest as in what?
Just like if you were hanging with him, it was like, oh, tonight's gonna be a problem. Like it's gonna. Shay was the craziest one.
Yeah, the one that went to prison when we were 17. Yeah, like we was smoking like you ever smoke Grapevine?
I've never heard of Grapevine.
Yeah, bro. Oh, this is actually like, well, I was gonna say like this is like some cool shit to do, but like now we're 30 damn near.
Yeah, now
but like
you're 30.
Just like go back to being like 10 years old with your homies and I could show you what it is. It's kind of like Grapevine is like where we're from there's literal grapevine and so you it's a vine that's empty in the middle. And you take it and you light it and you can just puff on it. It's almost like an incense. It almost burns like an incense, but you can puff on it and like blow it out like a cigar. You don't want to inhale it, but you can puff on it and blow it out.
Does it give you a buzz?
If you inhale it, it would, but that's just because you're inhaling fucking wooden smoke. Not because it's like...
There's any shit.
Yeah. Like it just would feel like inhaling a fire. But you're not supposed to inhale it. You're supposed to just taste it. And we was doing that from like, he had us on Grapevine when I was like 9 years old. Like,
whoa.
Walking around town.
Chief and Grapevine.
Yeah, we would have like mad Grapevine in our pocket. We'd go down to like the fair and we'd just be walking around like they was like joints of cigarettes or something.
Would you buy them or would you literally just pick them off the tree?
Yeah, you pick them off the tree.
That's so, you're Tom Sawyer character, bro.
No,
like, you're
no, but I remember getting caught smoking Grapevine at Howdy Neighbor Days, which is the carnival. And like my dad, that was one of those times, man. He smacked on the back of the head, fucking. dragged to the car.
Because of
you're not
Grapevine.
gonna be smoking shit. Like get that the fuck out of hand. And we played sports too, so there was like a like a kind of a I don't know how, like, a lot of parents and stuff like that, they knew we were shitheads and shit like that, but then it would come, like, sports times, and it would kind of be like,
Yeah, you straighten up.
Yeah, and we'd have to straighten up, and they would, want us on their team, because there's not a whole lot of people for the team anyways.
So your dad was pretty rigid. Like, he had, like, a pretty solid moral compass, and it seems like your stepmom was very, like...
Yeah, my stepmom had the moral compass. I think my dad was just, like, he just didn't want me to be a fucking... he didn't want me to be like my mom, so I don't know that he didn't have, like, that. When I got older, like, I started getting fucked up with my dad, Like, I started getting, like, when I was 21 years old, I'm, like...
Drinking.
And, like, on drugs, dude.
Oh,
like,
what drugs are you doing with your dad?
Well, I'm just, like, doing my own drugs at my dad's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, while my dad is doing his own drugs.
Oh, really?
Like, he's popping pills. That was his thing. And like, back then, I would be doing, like, acid and blow and shit like that. And I would be coming over, fucked up and just getting fucked up.
And you guys would just talk shit? Like...
We just talk shit. He was amazing. He was one of the boys. But also, as I got older, like, I kind of grew up, like, I saw shit really early. And so I was, like, always kind of, like, I was what kept... like my brothers talking to my mom and shit like that. Like I was the baby and I was like pretty emotional. So like, and everybody knew that, so I was kind of like the backbone of like us having like a family. So whenever I got older, like 21 years old, I might as well have been 40, like to my parents.
Right.
They didn't.
You're very mature.
Yeah. Well, I really wasn't that mature, but just to them, they known, the shit that I'd known. I was paying my dad's bills for like a whole year one time and nobody knew that my dad was like broke. But I was like, I had money because I was like selling weed and they knew that. And so I knew shit that like my siblings didn't know and shit like that because I was like helping them
had
out.
A different relationship.
Yeah, and my dad would hit me up and be like, yo, I'm shaking today. I haven't like taken a fucking Xanax in a week and I'm like puking today. And like my other siblings wouldn't know that.
So you'd hit your boy.
He'd tell that. No, I never got my dad pills, not even one time.
Oh, really?
Never. But he would tell me though, and he would always cry afterwards because he would be like, I'm sorry because I never got him. Nah, because I don't fuck with that shit. And I never fucked with that shit.
That's heavy. Like he's talking to you about like his addiction kind of. And like asking for help,
for sure,
but like in the wrong way.
Yeah, facts.
So how do you even broach that with him? Like how do you hang up the phone in that situation?
It would just be sad, bro. I'd cry. I don't know, man. It would just be sad. It would be like, you ever heard like, bro, it's the most terrible thing for somebody like, man, to look at you and you could just see that they're like, they're hurting. And like my dad, when he was like on drugs, he was like, hurting if he was asking me for pills, that means that he's like feeling like, man, he's about to die or something, right?
Yeah.
And so it would just hurt. It would just be like, like I can't, I'm not gonna get you pills, and I can't believe you would ask me that. I'm your son. Like, whoa, like too far. I remember I got out of jail one time and he come and pick me up. His fucking bitch ass was like 2 hours late. And I'm like, why the fuck you late? And he was just like laughing. He was a funny dude, the funniest dude ever. And he was just laughing and he's like, what type of bird don't sing? A jailbird, motherfucker. Like, just hop in. You want to ride or not? And then like we get halfway down the road and he goes from like laughing and joking to like crying and being like, I'm sorry, I was trying to get pills and I couldn't find them. And blah, 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 blah. And like, I need your help. Can you help me find them? And I'm like, drop me off. I'm like, let me out right here. Like, we're on a back road. I'm like, let me out right here. Like, before I fucking punch you in the face. I can't believe you would say that. Like, I was just in jail and I need you, bro. Like, like you're my pops. Like, you're supposed to be here to pick me up. And you're immediately asking me about pills. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that. But then, at the same time, I grew up where like, I was raised by my siblings, like I was raised by my older brother and my sister. My sister was like, and my stepmom, like that's who I was raised by. So like I was never my mom's boy. I was always her homie. Like I was always, like I knew what was going on. I was her homie. I was seeing shit nobody was seeing. I was never like, I was my dad's son until I started having armpit hair and shit like that. And then it was like, oh, I'm a teenage kid and he was working, and it was like all of a sudden, sports wasn't that important, and all of a sudden like doing these things, father-son type shit just wasn't that important because he's got to work and I'm a teenager. It's about time for me to start working. Like as soon as we was 15, like we all had to try to find a job.
Get a job.
I never did though. All my other siblings did, but I fucking always hated having a job.
But you made some money some other way.
Not in high school, bro, for real. No, my dad kicked me out when I was 18, and he was like, you got to get an apartment. And
why did he kick you out?
Because I was 18.
Oh, that was it. That was it. It's like, hey, time to move on.
Time to move on.
And
bro.
all your brothers got the same thing.
Well, they all moved out. Basically, everybody but my sister moved out when they were 16 because they wanted to like go be fucking whatever. So, but I was 18. Yeah, he's like, it's time to go. You got to go try to figure it out. If you don't have it figured out by 21, like you can come stay for another year, but you got to go figure it out.
Wow.
And the weed thing just happened because. Are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah.
The weed thing just happened because,
as
bro,
long as you don't have a case.
I'm in a. Yeah, I'm in a. I don't have a case. I'm in a fucking garage. I'm with that lady.
Okay.
This is my third. I'm about to tell you to pull her up here in a second.
Yeah.
I'm with that lady, and she's got some tweaker ass friends over, and I don't even smoke weed at the time. And this crackhead comes in, and he's got a fucking pound of weed. You ever seen a pound of weed before?
Just like stacked up saran wrap?
No. Just in a giant bag.
Like a trash bag?
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, hey man, you think you can get rid of this? I'm like thinking to myself, oh, I'm about to steal it from you, you fucking tweaker. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, let me get it. And he's like, here you go. And he's like, go try to get rid of it. Some crazy crackhead shit, right? I go home, I call my boy, I'm like, hey, bro, this crackhead just gave me a pound of weed. He's like, no way. And I'm like, what? And he's like, this guy just asked me if I knew where to get weed at. I'm like, what?
Look at God.
He's like, boom. He comes to me and he's like, I need a pound. Give him the pound, flip it. Made $500 that day. I'm tripping.
So yeah, you're like,
I'm like tripping. So it just went from that, bro. I just started getting, lots of weed.
Talking to people get plugged up, they can get you stuff.
Low key though, for real, I was just a dude that was I was just one plug, and I knew about 5 plugs, and they all needed 10, 15, 20 pounds a week, and I was just facilitating that for real.
And how much money were you making on like a weekly basis when you were doing that deep?
In my like prime?
Yeah, in the Wolf of Wall Street days.
Probably like weekly, 25,000 probably.
What?
In my prime.
25K
weekly.
A week?
Probably, yeah.
And so what is that?
Yeah,
like
I remember one weekend I spent $60,000. And I was like a nobody with no car. I was living in a sketchy apartment with roaches in it and shit like that.
But why, like if you're making 25,000 a week, tax free, why are you
metaphorically?
Yeah, of course. Like if it's true, but like
it's not true, but if it was
in the screenplay about your life, like
of what we're talking
like
about.
a fictionalized version.
Yeah.
In this fictionalized version, why would someone live in an apartment that has roaches when they're making 25 cents?
So I'm 18 years old. I got no credit. I got nothing like that. I'm buying. Like me and all my homies got fresh shoes on. Right, we all got a car. We all got like a little car. We all got a little motorcycle. I'm paying my dad's rent. I'm breaking off my brothers all the time. Like I remember, like I would go. The guys that I was selling weed to, they didn't count their money. You don't count $25,000. You put it on a scale, and it weighs 2,500 grams because every dollar bill is a gram. And so that's what you do, and you would weigh it. And so like a lot of the time, like we would, fuck, dude, this is so terrible. We would like set our scale a half gram like off, and so they would weigh up like $1,500 extra, and I would be like going and I'm handing it to the boys. Like that's kind of what we were doing for a while, and that was like really like that was there was a time where that was like going really heavy, man. But my friends, like my 2 best friends at that time, both got federally indicted for selling weed. So and they're both still locked up, and one of them's gonna be I'll never see him again, and the other one's gonna be locked up for the next like 5 years.
What?
So I was kind of just like, and that's another thing. I was kind of just in that circle, and like I remember this time, bro. I'm at this party, and I'm hanging out with I'm the only white dude in the room, and everybody's got big old guns, and we're like shooting dice. We're like throwing dice in the living room, and I remember a shootout starts to happen. And these dudes start shooting, and they run outside, and my boy comes up to me, and I'm thinking like I thought I was a gangster, right? Because I sell weed to these gangsters, so I just thought I was one, but I wasn't, right? And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, bro, I want you to know," and this is in the mid of people like, wow. He's like, "I want you to know, bro, we think you're a cool white kid." He's like, "You're a hippie, bro. Like you don't have to be here." He's like, "We like you because you're sweet and you're sensitive. Like we don't expect you to stay here and try to be a gangster." He's like, "Why don't you go and leave out the back door?" And I ran out the back door and never seen him again. Never seen any of them again. I quit selling like maybe a couple of weeks later, and like I was like, this isn't for me, bro. Like, yeah, this is getting scary, and like my friends are getting locked up, and people are getting shot at, and like we're getting robbed. I got my house kicked in before. I've been pistol whipped and all types of shit from people trying to steal weed.
Yeah, did it ever get sketchy? Like you're doing a deal and then it gets tense?
So like I was really like oh man, bro, metaphorically,
yeah,
I was like really kind of just like I was like a DJ Khaled type where I was really never in the room, but I'm connecting all the people to be in the room. Or I would hire a driver to come, hey, yo, come pick this up for me and bring it over there, so I didn't really have to fuck with it. But there was a time where my homie, I let him live with me, and he was like a runner for me, and they assumed that he was the plug. And I got like these dudes, they come up to my house. They're like running up to my house. I could tell you the story, fuck it. I'm just tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
All right, they're like running up to my house, and I hear this car door, like it's like a car door slam, and I hear like an engine, like, oh, and I look outside and I see these dudes running up with baseball bats. So I call my boy, I'm like, I'm getting robbed. They got baseball bats. I throw my phone down. We're like looking for weapons, like, cause at this time I don't have any weapons. I'm 21 years old. I don't have like weapons or nothing like that. And boom, they kick the door. My friend is like 400 pounds, so he's like hanging on the door, and they're like kicking him, and he's like, get something. Boom, the door flies open. I'm right in front of the door. The guy's right here. There's two dudes coming in, and a pistol hits the ground and slides all the way to my feet. And I look down and I look up, and I'm like, oh. And I realized their baseball bats were AR-15s with silencers on them. They weren't even baseball bats. Boom, they got them like pointed at us, and they're like pointing them at us, and I'm looking at this pistol on the ground, and I'm looking at the dude, and the dude's got another pistol in his hand. He's like, don't even do it. And he grabs the pistol all slow like, and he's like, everybody get on their hands and knees. My girlfriend at the time mouths off to him, and she's like, you're not going to make me do shit. I'm like, shut up. Stop. Yo, stop. Yo. The dude goes, it was Christmas time, so there was a tree and there was presents. He goes, it looks like it's Christmas for everybody. And nobody laughed, and she goes, that shit wasn't even funny.
Bro.
In the heat of the battle.
At least she's consistent,
she's
you know what I mean? Because she gives you shit. She gives you shit, but you're like, at least everyone gets it.
I mean, the robbers were getting it. So my boys are on their hands and knees in the living room. Boom. I'm like, yo, it's my crib. So like, he was trying to rob my boy, and he's like, I'm like, dude, it's my crib. And he's like, all right, take me to the weed then. So I'm like, all right, bet, come to the basement. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna get this guy in the basement and like try to make a little move or something, right? And try to like,
you're thinking this
1v1 this guy. Yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna kill us. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So we get down into the basement, and I have like all my weed over here, and I got like a bag of weed right here that's got like not that much weed in it. I'm like, that's all I got. He's like, I know this ain't all you got. And I'm like, that's all I got, bro. And I'm looking at his gun, and I'm about to go grab it. And the next thing I know, I hear, and I got blood running down my face, and my whole shirt I had a white shirt on, it's covered in blood, and I'm on a couch like this, and this dude is straddling me like he's like riding my dick. He's got a knee here and a knee here, and he's stepping up on me, and he's got the gun pressed on my forehead, and he's like, I know you got money, like where the fuck's the money at? So he had pistol with me, and I didn't even realize it, and whenever I come to, he's like on me being like, I know you got money, where's the money at? I'm like, all right, let me take you up to the money then, it's upstairs. That's all the weed I got. He's like, all right, and so I go upstairs, and now all of my homies that were on their hands and knees, they're seeing me walk upstairs with this, I look like I'm bleeding from my head, and they have silencers, so they're like scared that
he
shot me. Yeah, and so they're like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm good. And they're like, are you sure you're good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I'm good. So I go to my safe, and I used to put my 20s and my 10s in one like case, like they would just be scattered around, and then I put all my hundreds in this other case. And so the 20s and the 10s.
How much cash do you have
at the time?
Yeah.
At the time, right then and there, I probably had 25,000 liquid cash in the safe. And I look, the guy's got a gun on the back of my head, and he's talking to his partner, and I grabbed the hundreds and I slipped him in my pants like this. And I turn around with the box, and I'm thinking, oh God, he's gonna kill me. I turn around with the box, I'm like, this is all my money. He's like, I know this ain't all your money. I'm like, I swear this is all my money, bro. He's like, man, you think I'm stupid? Right when he says that, boom, my door gets kicked back in again. And it's my homie that I text and said they got baseball bats. And so, boom, he kicks my door in, and he's got a baseball bat. And and he looks at me, and he's like, literally in the heat of all this shit, he looks at me and he goes, Ave, what the fuck, bro? They got guns. And I'm like, I look at him and I'm like, my bad, bro. I didn't know they got guns. I'm like, you ought to just leave. And he goes,
he's got a catcher's mitt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's like, yo, I thought we were going to play.
What the fuck? Yeah. And then he's like, all right, fuck that. And I'm like, T, then just leave, bro. And he's like, all right, I'm going to steal their Hellcat. He said that out loud, and he runs out the door, and they're like, yo. And then you hear the Hellcat take off down the street, and everybody that was robbing me runs out the fucking door, and you hear like, cow, cow. Them shooting at the car, and then you hear the car, and then a door slam, and then it boom. And so long story short, I found out after the case, my homie stole the car. He went down like 3 blocks, jumped out the car, hopped back in his car and dipped, and they chased him for like a little while, and they didn't end up finding him or whatever.
So when they leave, they just chase him, and then you're free.
So I'm at the crib, and I'm like, boom, I got most of my money in my pants, about like $15,000 in my pants. They probably took 10, and then I got like most of my weed downstairs, so it's all good, right? But I'm tripping, and I'm like, why the fuck did I just get robbed? Like, what even happened? You know, I don't do people bad. Like, I've never done bad business. Like, what the fuck? All this shit. I was scared as fuck. I thought these guys were about to like kill me for a long time. I was like hiding out for like weeks. I mean, I'm still paranoid to this day, and like loud noises scare the shit out of me sometimes. And but come to find out, my fucking homie that was living there sold these dudes fake carts without me knowing. He put like batteries in it instead, and so they thought they were robbing him. And then I was like, "Yo, it's my house." So they ended up robbing me, and they were never really after me even. And I never saw them again. I never heard from them or nothing. Yeah, I pretty much quit selling weed after that.
That was the moment. You're like, yeah,
I kind of still did for a little while, but like,
yeah, of course, you sell the rest of your shit.
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
And what is the moment like when you guys all go back to the living room? It's your boy. It's like, you know,
I never went back to the living room.
Your girlfriend. Like,
you mean like that night?
That night, like you got blood on your, like you're covered in blood. Like, what do you guys do?
It's like I told my homie Weezy, I was like, go somewhere safe. I'm gonna go to my brother's house. And me and my girl at the time, we went to my brother's house and we stayed there. And my brother's like a fucking hypochondriac or whatever. Is that like he's scared? Like everything freaks him out. He's like, he called the police.
What?
And yeah, he made like an ambulance come check out my head and all types of shit. And like, I didn't tell him what happened. They were like asking me, and I'm like, and they were like, oh, so it's probably got to do with drugs then if you're not gonna tell us. And I was like, well, I'm just not gonna tell you. And so boom. And I lived with him for a few months, but I was like in straight hiding. I thought these guys were out to get me.
And they're going to find you some other way or something.
But it wasn't even like that. They were just 20-year-olds, probably high on drugs. They just wanted a little bit of weed. It turned out to be like this big scene. They probably didn't plan on hitting me.
Yeah.
You know, they probably didn't plan on anybody getting hurt. I got a big scar on the back of my head from that shit.
Still.
Yeah, and they like...
The Puerto Rican barber tried to show it, bro. He tried
no, he could too. He could just spread it open, literally. Yeah. He's like, what's up with this white kid's hair? It was crazy, bro.
That's wild,
bro.
Yeah,
it was crazy as fuck.
Is that the closest brush with death you had, you think?
Wow. I mean... probably, yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's definitely up there. Like a few couple close incidents and like some cars and shit like that, right? Like going too fast and shit like that, but never anything like that. That's the only like physical altercation where I felt like, yo, I might lose my life right now.
That is
and you know what the scariest thing about that is, and my brother's been robbed too, and he says the same thing. The scariest thing about getting robbed is whenever the other person on the other end of the gun looks nervous. They had masks on, so I couldn't see their face, but they were like, and it was like, yo, if this guy slips, he's gonna shoot me on accident.
Right.
Or like if this dude gets a nerve and he just clicks his finger.
Because they're not pros. Like pros know how to do it.
Yeah.
Where everyone's kind of fine. You get the shit, they're out. It's fast.
And you're like, oh, they're here for the shit. But it was like, these dudes might kill us, bro. Like it felt like I didn't know if they was gonna kill us, you know? And crazy story. I mean, I'm a grown man now. Those guys, like, if I were to meet those guys face to face, I'd shake their hands and I would, you know, we'd laugh about it.
Game.
Yeah, I mean, game's game, bro. And they were kids and I was a kid and like, you know, whatever. I'm sure that they're not like that anymore. But one of those kids passed away shortly after on a car accident type shit.
What the fuck? Wait, so you knew who it was?
I found out who it was because on some damn. What are they called? Detective shit?
Yeah.
There was a photo taken. I took a photo right whenever they got in there of them kicking the door. I had my phone in my hand. I just did it and I just threw my phone. And so we had a picture of this kid's shoe. And then we saw the marks on the door and they were Air Force Ones. And so we were just sending, like my brother's a shoe plug in Springfield, like he owns a shoe store and shit. We were sending that picture to everybody being like, whose Air Forces are these? Because they're like
Black
different.
Air Forces?
They were like sparkly. They were like different. And then somebody put us onto his Facebook profile picture and it was this kid.
Way.
I know his name. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, R.I.P. though.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too much. Like that's
Crazy.
like that intensity. Like there was a kid I played ball with. Like I was like playing soccer as a kid, and like he was like super nice. And then he just got into like selling weed, and then got into a situation. He robbed a drug dealer, killed him, life in prison, and that was it.
Yeah, bro.
Like it's so quick.
So quick.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
Yeah, man. And like you start living like that, and the thing is like, bro, you start getting around other people that are living like that, and it becomes like a cool thing. I was like getting scared when it started to become like I'm hanging around people who like got guns in their pants and they're like thinking it's cool to be hanging out on the corner and smoking and like it's a cool thing. And that's whenever it starts to be like, I was like, bro, I don't belong here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not cool for real. I just want a little bit of money.
You said this a few times already. You said like growing up you were emotional.
As fuck. Always have
and
been,
everyone
bro.
knew.
Everybody in my whole life.
How does that manifest? What does that look like?
Yeah, man. Like, I was like, yeah, dude, I was just a crying ass kid, bro. Like, it was hard for me to stay the night with people. I couldn't stay the night with nobody until I was like 10 or 11, which is funny because I was running around by myself for 15 hours in a day, but I just couldn't sleep at other people's houses.
Who did you miss?
My parents. Yeah, I would like miss
dad and stepmom.
Yeah, bad. Yeah. And and I was also like emotional, like as a kid, as a 10-year-old kid on the basketball court, getting frustrated with the game and crying in the huddle, like type shit. I would get mad and cry and be like, I just, like, why can't I do it? Like, I'm just trying to, why can't I get the ball to the rim? Like, just emotional kid, bro. Everybody knew it. And my dad, there was times like my dad, I talk about him being like physical with me, but like I was getting mad at my dad and running up to him with my chest out and what's up? Like, but fuck you. Like, I don't even fucking love you. Like, fuck you. I remember my brother killed himself. I'll never forget this, bro. My brother killed himself and it was like a week later and my dad was like on some drunk bullshit and I looked him straight in his face and I was like, you're the reason that Shaylin killed himself. And that's like the worst thing I've ever said in my life. And it's like, I'm a kid. But my dad, it was like 2 days later, I like went to my dad and I was bawling my eyes out and I was telling him I'm so sorry and I didn't mean it and it's not true. And he was just like, I know you didn't mean it. You're just like me. He's like, we get upset and we say shit and we don't mean it. And he's like, I didn't take it to heart.
And why did that come out? And then were you just angry about his passing?
Yeah,
you were like,
my brother was.
Whose fault? Like, who do I blame for this?
Yeah, who do I blame for this? And also, like, my brother, like, the fact of the matter is, man, is that, like, he was treated different than all of us. He was, like, that's the brother that, my brother that killed himself is the brother that my mom had out of wedlock. So, as soon as it's time to get in trouble, guess who's getting it? Shaylin's getting his ass beat in front of everybody. As soon as there's anybody that I would steal cigarettes from my parents and they would blame it on him. Like there was, we would, man, like he was mistreated in my crib, like for real. And
then you got like youngest child treatment. Like they took care of you a little more.
A little bit.
And then you saw what he was getting. You're like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of. My sister really got the best like treatment from the parents. She got it the best. My dad, I was so young though that my brothers had already like my brother I was 15 when he killed himself. So I'm a freshman in high school. So that's 4 more years I live with my dad where like it wasn't even like I never basically had a father in high school, right? Like I had a dad and he would come to some of my games and shit like that, but really he was just this drunk dude that was struggling with the fact that his other kid killed himself. And the way it happened was just like crazy and shit. So he was like struggling with that. So I never really like had that. I think whenever I got older though, I got like the youngest kid treatment. That's whenever my dad would, he would come to my house and we watched the game.
You guys be homies.
We was like homies and he would, and we talked about more shit and like I felt like way more connected and shit. But growing up, the boys kind of all got it the same. My sister's really the one that kind of got the good treatment, which is cool though.
How did the rest of your siblings take it when your brother passed?
Yeah, bro. So I mean, like they weren't around, bro. Like I was the only one living in the house at the time. One of my brothers was in Ohio with his dad. My other brother was older, and they were living like in California at the time. And so me and Shaylin were spending a lot of time together, and they don't really. It's all different, bro. Like I found Shaylin, and Shaylin he called me right before he died. I was the last person he talked to, and so it was different as fuck. Like nobody else had to experience that. So I don't even know what it's like for them. I have no idea. Like him dying for me was so traumatic and so many things happened. Like I was worried that it was gonna happen. We had talked about it before. I was hanging out with him the night before. Like he called me right before he did it and was like, come home. I want to talk to you. Like blah, blah, blah. He probably expected me to come save his life, but I was 15 and I couldn't help him out. Like when I seen him like choking, I couldn't like pick him up. He was too heavy and shit. So it affected me way different than everybody else. I wonder that to this day. I asked my sister, like what is it like? Because I don't know. Their brother died and he killed himself, but like they didn't like, it was just different, bro. Like they weren't necessarily around and shit. Their brother just kind of, killed himself. So they just kind of got that like, oh yeah, like we got to be more aware of people's mental health, like type situation. It was never like.
But you were in it.
Yeah, and my dad was too. So like when I found my brother, I screamed for my dad, and he was the second person to see, and like he's the one that cut him down off the rope. So he was like, that affected him too. I got to see how that affected him, and I see myself in that a lot. Like, you know, there's like some shit you can't escape. When you see some shit like that, like it fucks you up, right? Like psychologically. So like it's honestly kind of a thing that me and my siblings don't talk about that much. You know, I don't even know. They might talk amongst themselves about it, but they don't bring it up around me that much, probably just because it's just such a sore, crazy subject. But and then if they want to fucking hear about it, they just turn on YouTube and look it up. So,
and you're already predisposed to being emotive and emotional. Like, not only are you emotional, but now you experience this traumatic thing. Like, did you and your pops ever talk about it after? Like, when you guys were hanging out?
Bro. Yeah, not really, bro.
It never comes up.
Well, I mean, I tried to talk about it with him, but he would like. If I'm emotional, man, he was times 10. Like, he would just tell me shut. Like, he would start crying and be like, "Shut up! I can't.
Really?
I can't." We never talked about it.
Like, he would push his emotions down more.
He would say, "Stop talking about this. I don't want to cry. You're gonna make me cry. I'm crying. Stop."
Wow.
I get it. It was bad. He'd be like, "Yeah, it sucked. It sucked." And like, let's not talk about it. So.
And was this your brother? Is this your same mom?
Yes. Yeah.
And how did she handle it? Like, was she?
Yeah, I'll never forget this, bro. So I called my mom. So boom. Okay. So long story short. The night before, my mom is with her boyfriend, and they're in this big fight, and my brother like comes and gets me, and he's like, "Let's go beat Nick's ass." That's my mom's boyfriend's name. I'm like, "All right, bet." We go out there. My brother beats the shit out of this guy, and then he like pees all over his like clothes. It was funny. It was all this shit. We go home, and I realize I'm like, something's off. Like they're high. Like they're on something, like something. So I could just tell. And so my mom was like going through this relationship shit where she was like kind of. She felt like she was enabling my brother to be a hoodlum, right, at the time. Like, now, my mom's an amazing person now. She's a great grandma. She's like sober, all that shit. She's great. So we talk about it now. But back then, you know, she was just kind of in the middle of it. I remember, bro, calling my mom. So boom, my brother calls me. He's like, "Come home and do your chores." And I'm like, "Shaylin, bro, fuck you. Like, it's Saturday or whatever day it is. Like, I'm not coming, bro. Like, I was just out hanging out with my homies. He's like, "Stop." He's like, "Bro, come on, please." And I'm like, "Oh, something's wrong." I hang up the phone. I call my dad. I'm like, "What's up with Shaylin?" He's like, "He's pissed off. Like, don't even fuck with him." And I'm like, "No, you fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's like suicidal right now. Like, he's been talking about it all week." So boom, I come home. I'm like, "Go ask my dad, where's he at?" He's like, "He walked out back." I run out back. I'm like running out back. There's like a garage. I see him. He's like choking, and he's like had hung himself, and the chair's like falling down and shit like that. And he's like choking, but he's not like totally dead yet. He's like, his eyes are glossy and shit like that, and he's like pretty much dead. But he's got his hands like he was trying to save himself, like he regretted it. And so I'm like, I grab him by the feet, and I'm like 15, and he probably weighs like 180, and I'm like weak 15-year-old. I'm like trying to pick him up. I can't pick him up. I'm screaming for my dad. My dad comes out there. I'll never forget it. He like grabs the rope and he punches it, and it snaps. Can you imagine that? Boom, my brother hits the ground. I run inside. I grabbed the phone. It was a cord phone. We had a cord phone at the time. My stepmom was in a full body brace because she had her ribs taken out. And so boom, I'm like trying to beat around the bush. I'm like, "My brother, because I don't want her to get all freaked out." And I'm like, I can't leave the room because it's a cord phone. And I'm like, "My brother tried to hang himself." Boom, fucking she gets up. She runs out there. It's like all hell's starting to break loose. I run out to the front. I'm screaming, and I'm like, my friends are there, and I'm like telling them like, "Shaylin fucking just killed himself." And I run out to the front, and my homie lives across the street, and I see his dad. He's a first responder. His dad comes running out in his boxers, bro. Fucking dick flying around. Like this grown ass man, he got defibrillators. This dude, his shit flopping. I will never forget that shit. I seen it from a block away. I'm like, damn, all right. So he come. His wife's pretty too. Her name Kim. I'm like, damn, all right, okay, we get that mystery solved, right? So, but he's got defibrillators, bro, and he's running across the street, and he's shaking him up while he's running across the street. And I'll never forget, he like runs down, boom, hits Shaylin's chest. He doesn't come alive. I go down there. I'm like grabbing Shaylin by the head, and I'm like fucking, you know, begging him to come alive, and he's like, boom, pumping his chest, and he won't come alive. And then so I go into the front, and the first person I call is my sister, and I'm like, "Hey, this just happened." She's like, "Oh my God, call mom." And she had to like pull over and all this shit, and I call my mom, and dude, I'll never forget this. Your question was, how did my mom handle it? My mom gets to the crib. My mom and dad hated each other. I've never seen them hug. I've never even seen them high five. I've never seen them look at each other for more than 2 seconds. I've never seen that. And they fucking hated each other. And my mom ran straight to my dad and gave him a hug. And she went to the front yard and she started punching hands like this, and she was being like, why, bro? She wouldn't stop. The flesh in her knuckles started flying in the air. She had blood on her face from punching her fingers like this, and the flesh just going everywhere. I remember seeing my mom's like bones and her fingers like moving like this. Like, it was crazy. That's how she dealt with it. And then she went and she slipped into it. And both of my parents after that for like 5-6 years were like really bad drug addicts after that. After that, I pretty much didn't have parents. Like my stepmom tried her hardest and she was like doing her thing, but she was working, and my dad like quit working completely and like, you know, turned into this dude that like got his money from the government and shit. And yeah, and my mom kind of took care of us from then on, and boom. And then my real mom got sober about like shit, maybe like 6 years later. She's been sober for like 5 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did that event help her get sober in any way?
Had to, right? I don't know. I've never asked her that, but like had to, right? Because like that was like, I think it pulled her out of a crazy, shitty situation, and it like low key put my dad into one. It like traded their spots, kind of, you know. But yeah, crazy story, huh? Fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. You goddamn cut the tension here with a knife. This is a comedy show. Yeah, and then after that, my brother got up and he was like, I'm joking. He's like, hey, kids, it's me. Dude, I bet you thought that.
It was Impractical Jokers the whole time?
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
Ashton Kutcher come walking down the corner. He's like, you got punked. You got punked.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy, man.
How did you cope with it? Like, what was your, was there any, like, did anyone come to you? Was there like a teacher that was like, yo, you went through some shit, you should talk to someone?
Bro. I started like writing poems and shit a lot then, and I was like, I still played football and all that shit. Like, I was on the team, like, I was in organized sports. Thank God for that, because I think that took my mind off it a lot. But bro, no, I have a memory of that year, my freshman year. There's this teacher. Her name's Miss to be fucking exact. All right, maybe don't put her name in there. But I was sending her poems, bro. Like, I went back and read them as a 20-year-old. Like, they were being like, I was basically in these poems being like, hey, my dad's beating the fuck out of me at home. Everybody's drunk and doing drugs, and my brother killed himself and I watched him die, and I need help. And she would be like, cool poem last night, Dave. She would be like, hey, I didn't get to read that one. I'll catch the next one. And I was sending them to her nightly, begging for help, bro. Like, basically doing everything except saying, will you please help me? And they never gave a fuck, bro. Nobody ever gave a fuck for real. I think that like there were some teachers in my school that were like guilty of bullying my brother, and they like apologized to me and shit. And that kind of made school even worse, because then I'm coming to school every day and I'm thinking like, oh, you bullied my brother, and like you feel so guilty that you want to apologize to me.
Yeah,
like, fuck you.
Yeah,
exactly. And so I was like that. I was like, fuck you. I skipped school, bro. I never really went. That was my freshman year. I turned into this kid that I only like the cop come to the school my sophomore year and was like, I had a warrant for my arrest just for like traffic violations that I didn't pay, and he was like, hey man, if you play football, then we want to arrest you.
What?
And so I basically was this kid that got away with never going to class and never doing any of the shit that I had to do because I played sports, and like I was the quarterback and I was the leader of the team and shit like that. So they were just giving me like I like, bro, I missed 80% of my classes my senior year.
Wow.
And I graduated. Like, I have a high school diploma and I had like D's and shit. Like, I never went to school. I never turned in my work. It was just football and basketball and shit. They just let me be, and they just let me kind of do my thing. And I think also nobody ever talked to me about it, but everybody kind of knew like, hey, this is what's going on at Dave's house. Like, be easy on him. I would go to the library and sleep for fucking 4 hours every day. You know, I would get lunch and go eat it like somewhere else, like type.
So you were nice at football though?
Not really. Not like I was nice like at my school. Like I got like the touchdown record and shit, but like that was class 1. Like I would have been sitting on the bench anywhere for real.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So were you into music at that point?
Yeah. I released my first song when I was like 15. Yeah.
Kind of in the wake of that experience.
And that was like kind of something that like parents like hated on me for, and they like didn't want their kids to hang out with me because I was making rap music. And
so at that point you're into Mac Miller then.
Come on, man. Yeah, how'd you know that?
Come on.
Huge, man. Massively.
Yeah, but like that was your guy,
like,
even
raised me. Yeah, bro. Like that I loved Eminem back then. I loved Pink Floyd back then. I loved Kurt Cobain to this day, even still. These are people that I like, I don't want to say idolized, but I looked up to. Mac Miller was definitely one.
That was the one.
I'm smoking cigarettes in the bathroom. I'm locking the door, man. I'm fucking turning on, I'm making it steamy in there. I'm turning on Missed Calls by Mac Miller. Baby, I got missed calls and emails. What? I'm like, what, 15?
Right.
Feeling like, man, Mac, me too, bro.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I got to tell you about a dirty little secret, okay? The insurance industry doesn't want you to know this. Well, basically what the insurance companies do is that they profit by holding on to your money as long as possible. You pay them every month, and then eventually when an accident happens, they try to deny or delay your claim so that they can keep their profits going. I mean, it goes even worse. When in court, the insurance companies want jurors to think that the at-fault driver, you know, a mom that rear-ends someone, you know, she's a single mom, and they think that she is going to be paying the verdict amount. Meanwhile, it's really the insurance companies who are going to be covering the costs. And that's why I want to tell you about the good folks over at Morgan & Morgan, because they will take on the case, and they are almost always going after the big insurance companies and not the individuals at fault. Morgan & Morgan fights hard for their clients, and these corporations know that, and it pisses them off. A recent client in Pennsylvania just received $29 million. The insurer's best offer, $500,000. Yeah. There's another client in Florida that received $20 million, and the last offer from the insurance company was $0. There's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. So if you are ever injured or dealing with an insurance company that doesn't want to pay up their fair share, you could go check out Morgan & Morgan. That's right. Hiring the wrong law firm can be disastrous, and hiring the right law firm could, be a big, substantial increase to your settlement. And Morgan & Morgan makes it so easy to get started. Their fee is free unless they win. There's literally no risk. Unless they win your case, you're not paying a dime. And with Morgan & Morgan, it's never been easier. I'm telling you. You just go to forthepeople.com. That's right, FORthepeople.com, and use the code GAGNON, GAGNON, or dial pound law. That's pound 529. That's forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or dial pound law. That's pound 529. And this is a paid advertisement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the show. What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I'm sitting here in my beautiful tent, as you can see, every week, day in, day out. And people always ask, they say, Mark, how do I have a tent like that? I want to sit in a beautiful tent and invite a lover, a friend, someone that I appreciate and adore. I want to give them a good time inside my tent. Well, it's easy. Thanks to the good folks over at BlueChew.com. That's right. Blue Chew is the original OG brand offering chewable tablets. And what do these tablets do? Oh, I'm glad you asked. They are going to give you just a stronger, harder, and longer lasting sexual performance. That's right. They're going to help you pitch a tent any place, anywhere. And the best part, it's all done online. That means you don't have to go to a doctor's office and talk to them and be like, oh, I'm feeling some type of way. Look, this is not for people that are, lacking necessarily. This is for people that want to have the best experience of their life, whether it's Valentine's Day, birthday, a funeral. Who knows? Whenever you need it, you never know when you could use Blue Chew. And we have a special deal for the listeners of this program. That's right. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free. That's right. Completely free. Mark, is it going to work for me? Hey, it's free. Why not just try it? Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. All right, now let's get after it and let's get back to the show.
So when you start rapping, are you kind of emulating Mac a little? Are you channeling that energy?
I've never ever, it's always just been my own, I've never felt like that. No, I was kind of like a lyrical rapper. I was kind of like trying to tell like a story. I remember I had a song where I was like 15 and I was like fucking, it's dark, walking with the headphones on, you got a problem, like type shit like that, like trying to paint some picture.
Yeah.
I never really like took after anybody specifically. I think like everybody was just kind of my like muse for like music. I was just making music like with everybody's influence
right
at the time. But I was making rap music because I wanted people to think I was cool.
Yeah. Did it work?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it didn't work. Yeah. I don't think it worked.
But did you connect with other artists, like other
musicians?
musicians?
There was nothing like that where I'm from.
No, not even one of the kid doing rap music or like
I had
producing.
a buddy that lived with me that is the one that got me into it, and he's from Jacksonville, Florida. Or he like moved to Missouri and then moved back and then came to Duval.
Yeah.
And that was like a best friend of mine, and he's the reason that I started. But no, there was nobody. There was not a single person in my school that made music. Not even one person. I think the only other people that made music were my older brothers 8 years before me.
Right.
Like, there was nobody.
And did you ever hit them like, yo, I want to make music. Like, do you have any advice? Like, did you ever reach out to your brothers?
Bro, they didn't fuck with me.
Really?
Yeah, they did not fuck with me. Yeah, that's funny now because I don't hold grudges like for that shit. Like it's cool. I think you work towards that. Like they did not fuck with me. They did not take me serious. They did not fuck with me. I didn't get my only brother that supported me was the one that's close to my age. I did not get my family support until Overdose dropped. Like no, my dad was even being like, "Yo, it's time to like you're 24. It's time to like stop doing music and start like trying to get a real job." My brothers, anytime I would talk about it, they wouldn't even want to. Nah, they didn't fuck with me, bro. I remember my oldest brother, it made me cry one time. He was like, "You don't know the fucking difference between a hook and a verse." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I'm like 18 and I'm like, "I've been doing this for 3 years." "Yeah, I do." Like, "What are you talking about?" But he was like disrespectful. So yeah, they never fuck with me, and that's the complete truth. And they can suck my dick to this day for that. All of them. They support me now, but they can all suck my motherfucking dick, man.
So the brother closest to you in age, what does he do?
He owns a shoe store. Yeah, he's a fucking gangster. Yeah, he's the shit. His name's Jamie. The company's called Jamie Shoes. It's insane.
He hooks you up?
Man, I wish he did hook me up, man. Give me a discount, James. He don't. I pay full price. But
so you hook him up.
But I'm stacked though. Like I got a badass shoe collection.
Wow, that's bro. I'm like, this is just insane. So by the time you get to Springfield, how old are you?
I think I'm 19. I might be 20 years old the first time I moved to Springfield.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the only kid that never went home. Every other kid went home. I'm the only one that never went back home. Since 18 years old, I've been out and by myself.
And the plan was music.
The plan was motherfucking music, man. I was so wrapped up in selling weed, though, I thought I was gonna be Escobar. Like, I literally was thinking, like, I was gonna be this dude that had, like, millions of dollars at 40 years old from selling weed. Like, I'm not joking. I really did think that. There was, like, I took a flight whenever I was, like, 22 from Missouri to LA to, like, check out, like, a weed warehouse. And these kids had, like, yachts and Lamborghinis and shit. Like, I was thinking, like...
This could be it.
Yeah, I was thinking, this is what I'm about to do.
So, for a little bit, weed, like, the drug game was first. Music was kind of second.
Right, but I was doing it every day still, you know.
Of course,
shit like that, releasing hella because I love it, yeah. But it was kind of like...
Did you have a plan 3?
Nah. Terrible at having jobs, bro. I always knew that I was gonna be a writer though. Like I've always loved writing. I've always like I used to tell myself like I'm either gonna. I mean I was edging being a fucking loser, dude. Like I wasn't until the shit started working. Was like last year, bro. I was like I was straight smacking that shit and with not letting it come. I was edging being a loser, bro. I was 25 and nothing was working and I was releasing music that nobody was listening to and I was making TikToks and shit like that and like it just really wasn't working until I started getting paid on TikTok and then it was like, oh, okay. And I put weed down and I'm like, oh, I can make internet money and I started making internet money and it was like, oh, you know, I went straight from weed money to internet money, which is like the same thing basically. Internet money is stupid, you know? And so I just kind of made that transition and then...
And you're dropping a song a day?
A song a week.
Or a song a week,
Every Friday, yeah, a song a week. So I dropped like 250 songs in a row.
Like the Russ model in a way. Like
yeah, I guess, yeah, basically. Yeah. But you know, I never really like I always just did it, man. I don't know, man. It was just something in me that did it. It was never really like I never thought, oh, I'm gonna keep going until like it just did. It just kind of happened like that.
And what was the first song you dropped? Like how many songs did it take until you got one that you were like, yo, we're fucking we got something. Like we got
Overdose
views.
is the first one.
So how many songs in is that?
I mean, they're like recorded or posted?
Posted.
300, 250, 300, yeah. But like I had songs that had like 50K and 100K and I was like feeling like, yo, what, like take me serious.
Yeah.
Like I was feeling like that, take me serious, but it was nothing for real. You know, it wasn't until Overdose connected with people. And the thing is I changed my style 5 songs before Overdose. I started like making music for myself and I started like, I quit rapping and quit making music trying to be cool and I started making music like that I wanted to hear. Literally probably 5, maybe 10 songs before Overdose. And then I really fell into my lane and it was like, then I was in the studio every day for 12 hours a day and I was spending all my money. Like I ended up, bro, imagine, I'm not selling weed anymore, but I'm still making probably $3,500 a week, which is where I'm from. That's a hella money, but I'm spending it all in the studio. I'm spending $1,000 3 days in a row in the studio doing 10 hours a day and I'm like living out of my truck and I'm like sleeping with my girlfriend at her house and I'm like eating food from her work because I'm spending every bit of my money in the studio. So my friends would be like, what the fuck? Like, you're making money, bro. Like, we're not making near as much money. Like, where the fuck's your money at? What the fuck, dude? And I would be like, I'm in the studio. Like,
reinvesting.
I've been in the studio, but it felt like a waste. I never felt like I was investing in myself. Everybody always made me feel like it was a waste. And I always felt like I was addicted to the studio. It made it feel like a bad vibe for me. Like, it almost was like, you know, like as if if I was going and like drinking or something, like I would go to the studio because it would be like my getaway spot, and like I felt cool in the studio, and so I was like low key addicted to going. I would have $200 and my light would be due tomorrow, and it's $175. Or the studio, I can go for 2 hours for $200, and I would go for 2 hours for $200 every fucking time.
Wow.
And so it didn't feel like I was reinvesting. It kind of felt like I was being stupid, but you know, it fucking worked.
I think that's just
it ended
like
up working out.
I think that's an important lesson though. Like you put out, you said 300 songs almost,
Probably damn near
before anyone
gotta be close.
really gave a fuck.
Yeah. And honestly, bro, yeah. And like, I don't know, man. Really gave a fuck is a term. Like I don't think Overdose made people really give a fuck. I think Overdose was like the song that made me connect with people and stuff, but I think it was like the song and 2 and 3 after that made people really, and like the video, and I think people give a fuck now because like I go to my shows, bro, and there's 500 people in front of me, or there's 1,000 people in front of me, and they all look just like me. You know what I mean, bro? They all look just like me, bro. It's like you couldn't tell the difference who's performing tonight, you know? And we all got the same trauma, and we all like we're these people that like the you know, I've always said this since I was a kid. If you grow up super dirt poor, you get, you know, you get an attention, a certain type of attention from the government assistant. You get a certain type of attention from, you know, teachers and shit like that. They know, okay, this guy's like, you know, you might get, whether it be good or bad, you get a certain type of attention. And then when you're rich as fuck, you get a certain type of attention of like, okay, this kid gets treated like this at school, and you know, and the government treats him like this as far as like tax breaks and shit like that. But when you're right in the middle, you don't really get it just kind of go under the radar. It's like we're ghosts. Like people like me have always just been like ghosts. Like I grew up kind of shitty, but not as shitty as some of my friends. I grew up, you know, I had like a fucking American Postal shirt on still, right? Like I was getting cool hand-me-downs and shit like that. Like, but it was always like I was ghost mode. It's like I didn't matter to motherfuckers. You know, there was people in my school that had it worse than me, and they would get better treatment, and there was people that had it better for me, and they would get better treatment. And I always just got, you know, middle class treatment. And when I go to a show, I'm like, oh, this is 1,000 people that are just like me. And so it feels like, if that's what feels like people are starting to care, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a song ever did it. I really believe that like, it's more than just like a song. It's like, people started to care whenever they like started to hear the story, or they started to relate to me. You know, they flip me on the TV and they're like, oh shit, like I was just hanging with a guy just like that yesterday. Or, oh shit, you know, there's things that have happened to me in my life where it's like, my close circle, man, they know. Like, and so I'm like an open book on the internet. I might get on here and tell y'all how my fucking brother killed himself, right? Like, I'm an open book, and there's people that see that and they're like, oh, like, you know, they see themselves in that, or maybe they want to be more open or whatever. And I think that's really where the connection like started.
Were you closed off at any point when you were making music? Like those first 300 songs, was there part of you that was like, man, I want to talk about the real shit, but like
Definitely, bro. One of the reasons why I left my long-term girlfriend is because she made me feel like, and this wasn't her fault. This was like an internal battle that I was struggling with, but I thought that she made me feel like she wanted me to be a gangster. And so it was like I had to hang out with dudes that were, you know, gangbanging. Like I had to make rap music. I had to do these things. I had to talk in a certain way because that's what I thought she wanted. That's not what she wanted from me, I'm sure. We were just kids, but that's what I thought she wanted from me. So at that time, like I was more closed off, and I was struggling with like pride shit, you know.
Of course.
I was like,
yeah, that ego is like, yo, you're hard, you're tough, no one can fuck with you.
Yeah, all
you're
that
cool.
shit. And my boys were like really about that. I was never really about that, but they really were. So it was like, it made me just feel cooler and different. And also my best friend bought me a fucking badass 370Z, like a badass 2017 370Z, because he was loaded from selling weed. And so like I'm driving like a fucking badass car, making rap music.
So you have everything. You should be.
Thought so.
You should be good.
Yeah.
But you weren't being real.
But I wasn't being real. You know, it's funny. I remember I met Waka Flocka. I did a rap show. I opened for him. I pushed my way to the back. I basically made him give me a conversation, and he was like, I was like complaining. I was like, man, I didn't have a great set tonight. And he's like, you sound like a bitch. Imagine Waka Flocka telling you sound like a bitch. I'm like, oh, really, Walk? Actually, you're right, I do. I'm like, oh, really, Walkie? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, look at you, bro. You sound like a bitch. He's like, you got all these things that you want, and he's like, it's going good for you. And he's like, you don't see the bigger picture. He said, you're never gonna go anywhere with that girlfriend that you have. He said, you got to leave your girlfriend if you want to be anything.
How did he know?
Just from the conversation that we had, you know, about like just certain things. And I never brought her up, but he could see that I was trying to be cool to impress the people that I was around. And he basically was like, like cut that shit out. If you ever want to make it, you got to cut that shit out.
I mean, Walker's sharp.
Yeah,
like he's and his mom is a boss. Like she runs it.
Yeah,
and she's extreme. She's brilliant, and he's smart like her.
Yeah, he's
like,
huge too. You met him?
Oh yeah, he's like
massive.
He's 6'7".
Yeah. I'd give him buckets though.
I would give him buckets. He literally goes hard. In the paint, like that's like his thing. I don't know if you know that.
I created the paint. Though.
Stop it!
I'm telling you, bro. I'm giving him buckets though, for real.
What's your highest scoring game in
what?
In high school when you were playing
in basketball?
Yeah.
Man, 40.
Fuck out of here. There's 40. No way.
I had 11 records. I had 11 threes in one.
No.
In one game one time. Yeah. Hey, I think you can pull up my huddle, but you're only going to see a football clip. Somebody pull up the huddle.
Yeah, we really need that.
Look me up. I think I might have a basketball clip on there. This is crazy. I'm from such a small school, bro, that this is not a big thing. We were brand new on huddle. Like, we tried to make it a thing. Yeah, no, AVREY. Huddle. Yeah, where are we at? Whoa!
That's you?
That's me, bro.
Yo, zoom in on that. Zoom in on that, bro. Yo, that's hilarious.
This kid's fat now. And he's rich, and I think he's living good too.
Okay, so hold on.
Look up,
just search. Yeah. Don't even take
high school
football
career
out. Take football
home run. What's this?
Oh shit! Look at you on Yahoo.
Oh, tight. That's recent.
Damn.
Bro. Nah. The game that I'm talking about is I'm a freshman, and we're playing in this tournament, and dude, I was on fire. 11 threes, boom. My teammates were just screaming, shoot it. It was just going in. I'll never forget that. Yeah, but I quit my senior year because I was a quitter, low key. So like, you know, that's the thing too, is that I would get like mad and leave. That's like
right, you get emotionally be like, yo, fuck this, fuck all you people. I'm
out. But one time, bro, my last basketball game ever, I had to sit the first quarter because I was in trouble. And in the second quarter, I scored 25. And I was not passing the rock. And then at halftime, I go down to the fucking locker room and this kid's mouthing off and we get in a little scruffle. And I ended up putting him in a chokehold and shit. And the coach rips me off. And the coach is like, you're not going to fucking play another second tonight. And I left and never came back.
And what year was that? How old are you?
That was 2016. I was a senior.
Wow.
And then one time, bro, there's this photo of me and my only dunk ever. It was like a crazy little white boy dunk, like barely get the ball over the rim and like grab it and just make it break away. And it was I got a steal. We were up like 20, and I got a steal at half court right before the game or right before halftime. And I go up and I white boy dunk it, and my coach screams at me and grabs me by my wrist in front of everybody, and he's like, "We don't fucking play like that." And shit like that, and takes me downstairs and screaming.
That shit feels racist, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
Right?
I'm telling you,
like,
man.
Yo, we play a high IQ game. We play a smart game.
Yeah,
man.
Like,
what the fuck does
that mean?
I'm telling
you, man. Yeah, and I actually told him AI was my favorite basketball player in high school, and he goes, AI wasn't a basketball player.
What?
I bet his favorite was fucking John Stockton or some white dude. Is John Stockton white?
Yeah, no.
Is he? Oh yeah. I bet that's his favorite.
Like
player.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, Larry. He's man, you got to be more like Larry.
Steve Kerr was just such a
white chocolate.
He's a playmaker.
No, that guy. He probably didn't even like him. Too much spice.
No, white chocolate. That's a black man.
He's a black man. Yeah, for sure.
From Bell, West Virginia. Bro.
He is?
Yeah.
You fuck with the NBA?
A little bit. I grew up going to like Magic games. I saw Dwight win the Eastern Conference. I wasn't at the game. I was at Game 5 or Game 4, and in Orlando. That shit blew my mind.
That's crazy.
And I ran into Dwight Howard at a festival.
No way.
And I was like shaking. I was like, all my friends were like, Dwight Howard? Like, I was like, yeah, but that's Superman.
Oh fuck.
How do y'all not have any more respect for Superman?
Yeah.
I was like, I was going crazy.
Man,
do you still follow today?
A little bit.
Who's your team from Missouri?
We don't have a team, but I just like players though. I've never been in the NBA. I like I'm a Packers fan, like die hard. That's my shit.
Right.
But I like players in the NBA. I met Michael Beasley the other night.
Oh wow, super cool bees.
Yeah,
super cool bees.
Dude, that dude.
He's a real one.
He's a real one.
I think
he's a good dude.
He played for the Magic, I think, for a little bit.
He played for everybody.
Yeah.
I looked him up afterwards. I'm like, damn, they say not to look up your homies, though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting used to that. I'm going to look you up after this.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Can we Google you?
Yeah, I mean, Miles
Did you play
left
sports
us.
in high school?
I did play sports.
What'd you play?
Play soccer.
Really?
All the way through.
Oh, that's like real ass, like, cardio shit.
Oh, yeah. It's just running. It's just running. Yeah. That's like...
We didn't even have soccer.
Really?
Just baseball, football, and basketball.
I bet you...
and we only had baseball, like, couple years in high school.
They had soccer at town over though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
When the Latinos pull up, bro, come on, man. You see them? That's what I played with a little bit growing up. Like I would go play pickup games, and they would all call me, "Yo, David Beckham, yo."
No,
like,
that's funny.
Yeah, and they would all wear. David
Beckham.
They're all like wearing jeans and shit. Yeah, it was awesome. It was sick. We played a game one time. We went down to Honduras when I was in high school, and when we were in Honduras. We were down there for like a little like medical mission trip type situation. So we're down there, and they set up a game with like all the high school kids from my high school, and then we play all the Hondurans.
Oh shit,
and bro, these boys fucked us up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hondurans specifically, bro. They are they are brutal, bro.
Really?
And they're nice. Like
That's
they're fucking.
crazy.
They were like crazy finesse, and then they would just like put an elbow on you, just
That's
hard
crazy.
as fuck.
Bro, we used to drive by the soccer field and hit them with paintball guns.
Yo, you asshole.
We'd be in the back. Everybody in the soccer fields.
But no, we were all right though. My senior
That's
year,
sick.
we won a state championship.
Oh shit, you're lying.
Come on, bro.
That's
it was
what's up.
it was low. It was a low A. It was like
word.
we had a little school. It
Yeah,
was little.
in 5 years though, it was class 5.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I scored
10
5
years
goals.
he was MVP.
Yeah, I was the only one on the team.
Yeah.
There was everyone else got hurt, so it was 1 against 11.
That's crazy,
I
man.
won it.
I'm about to start making up stories about my shit right now.
Yeah, you should,
I'm about
bro.
to get that age.
Lying is fire, bro. You gotta
Lying
start.
is fire, dude. You gotta try it.
For real, dude.
You
That
gotta
shit,
try it. Yeah,
that shit
yeah.
is sick as hell.
That's crazy. Scared the shit out of me.
You thought that was it. You thought old boys
Poking
from, you thought they pulled up.
Thanks.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yo, Ave wanted to see me in high school. Would you mind Googling Mark Gagnon? Orangewood?
Mark Gagnon. That's your last name?
Gagnon en français.
How do you say it? Like, say it like white again?
Gagnon.
I'm so sorry, bro.
I had to be a comedian, bro.
That you had to
Hold
be,
on.
bro.
Hold on, no, go back.
Oh my fucking
Go back.
God.
Hold on, go back.
Pull your hair down.
Hit the images again.
What
Hit the images
fuck?
again. Yeah, so that's
Who's that? Is this all you?
Yeah.
Wait.
Hold on, hit the next one.
Wait.
Ave, you're gonna like that one.
No shot. Many men. Wish
Many,
death
many,
upon
many,
me. What
many
the
men.
fuck we talking about, man?
But hold on, go back
Dude,
to
you look like fucking the dude that controls the fish.
Wait, who's that?
What's his name?
Who controls fish?
Aquaman. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, click on that top link though.
Yo.
Click on that top link right there. Oh
Soccer
shit!
oh my God, man.
And
How
your
old are
boy,
you, bro?
your boy's right here in front of the signs.
This ain't high school, is it?
Yeah, that's high
Those are
school.
what high schoolers look like?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
Who the fuck is this? This looks like Cruz.
No, that that was the
Look like
coach's
your
kid, bro.
boy.
That was the coach's kid.
Oh shit.
That was the
dude.
coach's
no
kid.
No way, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Wow.
That's
And
wild.
he's right here. That's crazy.
That's
you,
the
you were
kid.
the face of the team, huh?
I mean,
With $1 million smile.
hey, that's come on.
That
man.
boy said, "King." That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Right
that's all-
on. No way with the comedy shit. Hang on.
Yeah.
Pull up can we see a bit?
I mean, we can't. That's the thing. I actually haven't put out that much stand up,
Oh, all right.
and maybe
See
see.
a bit right now. Let's do one right now.
I normally do it for money, but
Okay.
but I'll be
All
honest,
right.
like I've been in my head a little bit because I put so much pressure on the jokes. Where I'm like, I really want to put out stuff that I think is really good. I want it to be really funny. Like I
Yeah.
want it to be fucking. I want everyone to see it.
Right.
Like, oh, he's the one. Da da
Yeah, I
da.
could tell you're not that funny.
So we got that out of the way. So
I'm
we
just
got that out of the way.
No, I'm
so then it's
playing.
fine. But it's
No.
like I just
yeah,
had,
bro. I've always said, bro,
I put that pressure on myself.
that's got to be the most pressure job of all time. Is trying to make people laugh, right? Like
mean,
I can't
yes
even
and
imagine
no.
it.
It's like you got people, firemen and shit. That's pressure. You know what I mean? But I put them a little higher up.
I mean, true.
there is a little-
Okay, but let's put a.
There's
all right,
anxiety for sure.
How about this? You go. Sorry to all the firemen out there, by the way. You go with a hose to put a fire out.
Okay.
You might have a chance.
Yeah.
Put the fireman on the stage with a mic, and he's not making nobody laugh.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be tough. It's
I
gonna be
mean,
tough. Yeah.
But for real, I've always thought like naturally when I'm on stage, like I just like to tell jokes. Just
that's the thing. You kind of do
naturally.
stand up.
Like yeah, but it's just more of like there's no pressure on it. I'm not supposed to be funny. If you don't think my joke's funny, then like that's funny.
Right. Comedians will do that. Like
But
sometimes
there's pressure on you, bro.
comedians
like,
will do a song. And everyone's like, oh,
Adam
he's
Sandler?
actually good. I mean, yeah, you got like Sandler,
good.
but like, there's a bunch of people that like do songs every now and again.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, he's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
I know comics that'll just sing randomly.
Oh, for real.
Like they grew up like in a church, like
Right.
in like a Southern Baptist church, and then in the middle of a bit, they'll just be like,
and you're like, damn, did
and-
you just hit
and
that?
everyone goes crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
curious for you, even like when you first started selling out shows, like when did you actually start? When did you start doing shows?
Mhm.
And then when did people start actually showing up?
Yeah, I did shows. I was like a ticket peddler for like 5 years. You know what that means? Like I was the dude. Like the ticket peddlers on small shows are like the openers that are local that have to sell all the physical tickets to get the people to come. So I was really just trapping tickets, selling tickets for like I opened for like fucking like every rapper that came to Springfield and I was just peddling tickets. So I would do that and I would play like sold out shows because it would be like the MGK show and it's only a 1,500 rooms. So they're sold out or,
That's sick.
or it would be Waka and Tay Money one time. Shout out to her. A lot of people. that I opened for, Afro Man, fucking Soldier Boy, goddamn, the Baby, fucking.
Did you get to kick it with any of them?
Hell nah. I made myself get in those rooms sometimes, but nah, they wouldn't never let you in the room. Nah, you're not allowed anywhere near them. Like,
wow.
Fuck no. And you're a ticket peddler. So I did that for a long time, but this is my first tour ever. This is the first time I've ever left my hometown and went and did shows, and they're selling out. They're all pretty much almost all sold out, except for like a couple of dates.
Is it blowing your mind when you go on stage and you tell them like, yo, I'm going to play a song, and they know which one it is, and then they know the words?
Yeah, bro, it blows me away. Yeah, bro, it blows me away.
Mean, it must, right?
It really
like,
does.
that shit is crazy.
Crazy as fuck, dude. It's like, it's insane as fuck, bro. I don't even know how to describe it. I wonder how, like, fucking people like Taylor Swift feel. Like, how do you feel, man? Because I'm like, this is only 1,000 people in front of me, and this is like the craziest thing of all time.
Yeah.
I'm like singing a song about like my dad drinking himself to death or some like super personal shit, and there's like people crying in the crowd, like singing it, and I'm like, wait, like what the? It's the craziest thing, bro. I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. I don't even get it.
Because you're putting shit out online, it's getting views, you see comments, but to actually see people reacting must be a very different experience.
It's so different, bro. And it's nothing like the internet in person. It's nothing like the internet. It's like, it's just, I don't know, bro. Yeah, it's the internet also like makes it feel like almost, I always thought like there would be like this pressure, but like I'm so lucky that I can just be myself, that like in person there's no pressure. It's like I'm nervous as fuck, I'm puking before every show, but there's no pressure to be anybody but myself, because it's like you bought a ticket to come watch me be me, and I'm just gonna be me, and it's like I don't know how to fucking be anybody else, so I don't like feel this pressure. But you know, you get up there and you see these, it's like I also never really idolized a person. There was never a person that I like idolized, you know, or like I never even really thought about famous people like that, because it was always so far out of reach. Like you don't get famous in Pierce City, Missouri. You don't play college sports. You don't get famous. You don't, work in the music industry. There's things that you don't do. You don't go get office jobs. You're not an accountant. There's no accountants. There's no like, you fucking work at a farm. You're a teacher. You're a nurse, or you work at the gas station or grocery store.
Like no one made it out?
I don't know anybody.
Miles, could you pull that up, actually, the Pierce City, Missouri wiki?
Yeah, Pierce City, Missouri, man.
I'd be so curious to know.
There's a band from like back in the day that did like a few shows with Florida Georgia Line, a country band, but nothing even like that. Must have been the craziest shit. Look up like Pierce City, like how could you find like people that have done cool shit there? 2003 tornado was crazy. That shit fucked my house up.
Really?
Oh God, it did.
I mean, a list of sundown towns. Damn.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
When the sun go down.
It's terrible. It's not like that anymore, but yeah.
Back in the day.
They used to, when I was growing up, there was a sign there that said shit like that. They ended up taking it down.
What, like in the city?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
A sign?
Yeah.
What? All right, so let's click on something. Let's click on something.
Pierce City, Missouri. What is it? Pages.
Oh, you got a ragtime composer.
Oh, this is from like back in the day. Whoa, this is actually bad fucking ass.
That's crazy.
Wait, Theron? Who are these people? This is a writer for the Monat Times. That don't fucking count.
An American.
What's that?
She's famous for being old.
Oh, she's 100. Well, then fuck that too. Jack Goodman is currently the
Chief Judge of
that
the
don't count either,
Missouri
right?
Southern District.
I guess it kind of does.
American lawyer and judge before being elected to the House of Representatives.
All right, boom. She's from Pierce City.
The first woman to serve on the House committee.
And she's from Pierce City. You swear to God. Wow.
Army National Guard major who served as a chief in National Guard. All right, shout out to him. That's cool.
Yeah.
Why are they hating on you, bro?
100% racism right there.
We need
yeah, why the fuck I wasn't on that?
Right?
Well, I haven't made it out yet.
Nah, come on.
I haven't made it out yet, dude. I mean, like, bro, like, what's success to you?
I mean, my answer is very gay. It's very dumb.
What is it?
Like, it's like, can I afford to support my family, my wife, my baby?
Just them, not your brother and sister and family, and dad and mom.
We have a very different experience. Like, of course, if my siblings needed it.
Oh, but they're cool. They're like,
everyone's kind of doing their thing.
Hell
like, they're
yeah,
okay.
Bro. Shout out to that.
It's awesome.
That's
but like, that's a pressure that I think a lot of people that grow up in like upper class or upper middle class environments don't realize.
Yeah.
Like, I only really have to look out for like me,
Yeah.
my my wife and kid.
Right.
And then like if I wanted to like buy my dad a boat.
Right, but just some leisure shit.
You know what I mean?
Some,
like I don't have to worry about like, oh, my
Yeah.
sister's gonna be homeless.
Yeah.
And like that's such a pressure off of me.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
That's crazy. That's
So
like that's
sick.
not something I have to think about that
Yeah,
you and a lot of
badass.
people in your environment probably have to think about more.
No doubt. Yeah.
So like
I spent more money on my family than me, easily.
probably you got so many people. You got like a lot of mouths to feed.
But honestly, bro, like, you know, my family's like they're cool too though. Like they're great, you know. It's not like my sister wouldn't be homeless. Like she would have figured it out.
No, of course, but it's like, yo, let me just take the weight off of you.
Yeah.
Like,
if I got it.
My family doesn't have like the weight as much. And of course, if they're in that situation, like not even a question.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't come to that. Thank God, you know?
So just taking care of your
taking
wife
care
and
of the
kid,
family
basically.
and then being able to have freedom
Type.
to do what I want to do. Like I can go on the road, do some comedy, dope.
Right.
I can do some podcasts, hang out with cool people, interesting topics, and dive deep on that shit.
Yeah.
And then be able to kind of express myself freely and then ideally make enough money from it to support my family and still live a good life.
Boom.
That's all it is.
That sounds like success.
And at this point, I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of at that point. Like my threshold is pretty low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't need the fucking 100 mil. Like if it happens, great. But like I'm not crazy stressed about it. Like I don't buy dumb shit. Like I don't buy like, you know.
I just bought 2 Harleys in 1 week.
Actually,
hey, the thing is, like, I don't spend money anywhere except a fucking bar, casino, and like every once in a while on some type of fast vehicle.
Okay, so let's wind it back a little bit. What Harleys?
I have a classic Road King.
Hell yeah!
It's like a 2010. It's fucking badass. It's like the real deal. Big 900-pound bike. Big
stock,
big
or
backseat.
you
It's stock. It's stock.
Okay.
I just got this.
Okay.
I just bought 2. Like these are my first 2 Harleys ever.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've always rode motorcycles, but I've never owned a Harley. And then I was in Miami the other day, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not gonna lie. I won $25,000 at the casino, and I was like, I want a car here, and I don't have a driver's license.
Still?
Yeah, to this day.
I mean, but you know how to drive.
Of course, come on. Yeah.
Why don't you get a license?
Man, you know what, man? Can I get my lawyer on the phone? I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's like some shit going on that I gotta like figure out. But I was in Miami and I bought a Harley because I was like, I need a car here. So I just got that like 3 days ago.
And what's that Harley? That's just like a...
That is a Street Glide, and it's a police edition, and it's all black, and it's got a badass sissy bar and like 15
like apes. That's fire.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck.
I mean, so we're not so different, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when I first kind of like started figuring out some career stuff, again, I don't spend crazy.
Right.
So I was like, what's like a cheap bike that I like that's cool?
You got a Honda? Yeah, buddy. I used to drive one.
Wait, what? A Rebel?
I used to ride a Honda Rebel, and I also had a Suzuki Boulevard.
The Boulevards are fire. I like those.
The Boulevards are like Harleys, basically.
Right?
Be real. It's like an off-brand Harley.
Hondas are not. They sound like a little bit like a vacuum cleaner, but
cool though. I fuck with Honda.
My favorite bike like style ever comes from Southern California. It's always like Filipino dudes that chop them up.
Harley choppers?
Not Harleys, but they chop up Hondas.
Oh, for real?
And so they only chop up like Asian bikes.
Oh, tight.
And so like they make these bikes, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And so like I get these Honda Shadows. So I have one that's
dude.
It's an 88,
come on, man.
88 carbureted, because the new ones are not, they're fuel injected.
Yeah.
But the old ones are.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 88 chopped up, lowered.
Sick.
Like
you have that at home?
little mini apes, you know what I mean?
Oh, tight. Yeah. What
are
are those called? Those are like 12 inches or something?
Yeah, something like that. Because it's like, I don't want to be too uncomfortable.
Not too high, bro. My brother rides a chopper.
Yeah.
He's all the way up here. I like to be about right here.
Yeah, comfy.
That's even a little high.
Yeah.
This is cool.
That's nice, because that's actually really comfy.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like, what are you even doing?
Dude, unfortunately, one of my bikes is like that.
Well, which one?
The Street Glide.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like kind of embarrassing.
You might mess with it, though.
It's all good, right? I mean...
You might fuck it up, you know, maybe add something.
I mean,
you just got
it. Yeah, I just got it. Honestly, bro, I'm terrible, man. Like, I think it goes back to my childhood. Like I never had shit, so like I might fuck around. I bought a Suron, an electric dirt bike in Miami, and it was my shit, and it was like my personality for 24 hours, and I never rode it again.
No,
and it sits outside. And I keep forgetting the keys every time I come to Miami because I just grew up without shit, and it's like I'll have shit and I'll be like high on it for a little bit, and then I'll just.
Yeah,
I got a Scat Pack that sits in my backyard that I don't drive at all. Not because I have a driver's license, but it just sits in my backyard. It's like my dream car. I wanted it ever since I was a kid. Right when I signed a record deal, it's my first purchase. I bought my dream car. It's got stars in the roof. I haven't drove it in like 4 months.
Wow. So you're living in Miami now?
No, I live in Missouri, but like I stay in Miami a lot. I'm about to move to Miami though, bro.
Why Miami?
that's just where like all my people are at, and like there's a cool studio that I like my people fuck with. Like it's just cool down there. Honestly, bro, it's like I'm trying to figure out if it's right for me still because
it's very different than.
And I'm a degenerate. And I like to drink alcohol and throw money at slot machines.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of that there.
Wait, that's your game, slots?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
More than like Baccarat?
I hate playing table games because where I'm from, the casino where I'm from, it's like, well, first of all, you go out there, it's just like personal as fuck. If I would have grown up going to the Hard Rock in Miami, then it's like, yeah, you like playing this game and it's like a bunch of strangers or whatever. But like where I'm from, it's like, it's just personal. Everybody, there's a casino not far from us and it's like, you know everybody in there.
Wow.
Like you go there and three, 4, 5 times, you get to know everybody in there. It's like personal. I just never fucked with sitting down.
Because you're making money.
People fucking with me.
But you're taking.
And we also used to go to the casino to clean our weed money. So you can go to the casino with $10,000 in 20s and go straight up to the cashier and be like, I need these in all hundreds. And then they give you all the hundreds and they give you a receipt. And it's like, then you can go and be like, whenever the cop pulls you over and he's like, why do you have $10,000 cash on you? You're like, well, you show him this receipt and you're like, I want it at the casino. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So we would do that too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I've never thought about a small town casino. You're taking money from your neighbor.
Well, it's an hour and a half away, but
still, you know all the people you pull up and you're like, oh, this motherfucker's here.
Yeah, exactly.
And they also
like
know
the dealer even. I'm like, oh, I played Xbox with the dealer 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Like at the house.
And then they also know you're walking out with like 10 racks. Like who knows?
Or they know that you was in there 5 times this week and lost every time.
Yeah. They come in and run your pockets.
And it's like, or they'll be like, or now everybody knows that you go to the casino too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of one of those, but yeah, in Miami, it's like so unpersonal.
So how are you going to keep it put together, right? Like you come from an insane environment, with all due respect, you know what I mean? Like perhaps a tumultuous childhood, we could say. And so like you never really necessarily saw that structure financially.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck to do.
And now you're walking into some money, like you have someone looking after it, like you have like you have a system.
I'm blessed with this dude right behind me. And I got a cool business manager, man. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. He's like a, I don't want to say he's like a father figure, but that's like my uncle, dude. It's like my.
Has he had to slow you down?
Oh man, I mean, dude, that's like the only parents I've ever known in my life is that guy sitting behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when did you meet Juan?
Last year. He flew straight from. He come to my house. Like I'm living with roaches in my house and shit. Like I'm living in it's not a terrible crib. It's my favorite. It's my best one at the time. Like I thought it was nice, but yeah, this motherfucker coming. He got Montclair bracelets on and shit. This dude just got bread.
Yo,
he
Juan,
flies in.
What's the dumbest thing he tried to buy that you were like, later? Do it later.
There's been all types of shit like that. Maybe even I pulled up on him just the other day with the Harley, and he said, "God damn it, kid." He said, "What the fuck, kid?"
Harley in 1 week or in a month in Miami was an awful life.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah. Bro doesn't have a license, Juan. What are we gonna do?
What, dude, you talking about fucking pops back here, man. Nah, yeah. Nah, just even more so just the struggles of like being like the finally the only person in my family with money, and like that's been more of a struggle than anything. Yeah, like I have like a shitty spending habit, you know, sometimes. I haven't wasted all my money or nothing like that.
Of course.
I go to the casino too much for sure.
You're also not dumb.
Yeah, and I'm not,
like, I know you say, oh, I'm a degenerate, like, of course, we all like to party, but you're not dumb.
No.
And you're not going to do something truly dumb, in my opinion.
Right, that fucks me. Yeah, I would never would. But I think the advice that I got from, like, Juan and shit is more in, like, hey, man, you can't save everybody. You know, hey, man, yeah, I know you really want to buy your mom a house right now, but guess what? If you just keep building, in 3 years, you'll be able to do that.
You got
right
money,
now,
it's in a portfolio.
Yeah, we got to do this with the money and blah, blah, blah. I mean, dude, this guy, I'm in fucking Vegas. It's 1 a.m. and we're, like, talking about, like, and I don't like talking about money, bro. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't even like even thinking about it. I definitely don't like fucking talking to him about it because he's, like, a responsible person. Yeah, and shit. And we're, like, having an uncomfortable conversation, and I got bad credit and all that shit. And this motherfucker's like, what's your address? He's like, hand me your ID. I hand him my ID, and like 15 minutes later, he's like, all right, I enrolled you for a fucking Amex credit card. Like, and he like helped me out to like facilitate that. And he's like, this is what you do with that.
Wow.
This is how you handle your money. This is going to build you in this. And if you spend this and, you know, make sure you keep paying it off and do this. And like, he's the first person to ever teach me like financial like literacy.
Right.
You know, and it might happen at fucking 2 a.m. after a show in Vegas at the hotel, you know, while we're just like having downtime and like hanging out. So that's the first real like, you know, I mean, even he knows. I mean, Juan gets the worst of it because he's my manager and like, you know, a fucking emotional dude, and he gets the worst of it. Like if I'm being emotional, he'll hear it. But it's the first time that I've ever had like a fucking adult that's like, hey, like I did this, like I've been where you're at, kid. Like I've seen that before. I've been there before. I came from nothing. I did this. I did that, and look like, and he's got a beautiful family and shit like that. And you know his money's right and all these things, and he's got all these relationships that like you know elevate him like as a person and shit like that. And it's the first time that I've ever had like an adult like that in my life. You know, I've never had an adult that ever. If there was an adult that was like financially literate around me, they were like shunning us because we were like broke and my parents were drug addicts, so they didn't want to fuck with us. Like I never one time have ever heard, you know, I didn't know that you could put money in a fucking investment account and let it grow like interest and shit. I never knew shit like that. I never grew up knowing that shit. My parents never. Do you make $20,000 a year, bro? You are fucking buying food with that and rent only. You're not talking about what can I put in an investment account.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you stay poor. Do you have animosity towards rich people?
I'm losing it now. These are. I'm like, yeah. Whenever I first, like, yeah, bad.
Because did rich people judge you? Like,
yeah, but I don't know rich people though either. Like, if I go to Pier City right now, I got the most money out of any. Like, there might be a millionaire, maybe a millionaire, maybe
some old
probably
dude,
not.
some old dude from a factory that saved up.
So I don't know real rich people.
Right.
Like I give Juan shit all the time. He says he's not rich, and I'm like, you're the richest person I've ever seen. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what the fuck? You know. So I've never seen real rich.
But now you're in Miami. You're around it.
Oh man, hey, these dudes, bro. First time I ever met the dude that owns one of the labels that I'm signed to, this man, we went to a horse race and he pulls out $50K from the bank. And he said, we're going to throw this on horses today. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I mean, I've seen $50K because of the weed and shit like that, but I've never like seen $50K and all hundreds in cash pulled out of the bank in a fucking Ziploc baggie, legal money.
Crispy.
About to go gamble it all tonight.
Yeah.
Type shit. You know, I've seen $50K and I've thought, yo, I'm eating for a year off of this, and everybody around me is getting a car, and like we're all gonna get a fucking '98 Civic tonight.
Yeah.
Like I thought that, but yeah, that's real money, bro. It's kind of like a scary thing, bro.
What has your mom said now that you got success, or this version of success? Because I want to ask you about success later. But what does your mom say?
Yeah, she texted me today and she said, "Hey, bub, go show him who you are. You deserve this." I don't know. She just says shit like that. I got my mom a crib. Like, I didn't buy it, but I rent her a crib. And, like, it's the first time she's ever lived in a house that's not as big as this room.
Yeah.
She's always been in a tiny house that, like, she used to make her couch out of milk crates and blankets. So she would, like, build a couch out of milk crates and, like, super glue them together, hot glue them together. And then she put mad blankets on it, and it would look like a couch. And, like, that's how she's always lived like that. Bed, you drag the bed out from the closet at night and put it in the living room, and you make a pallet, and that's where you sleep at night. Studios, like, she had never lived anything, so she's mad grateful. She also watches my dog all the time now, so like it's kind of a partnership. You know? But
and then when Overdose dropped, like your dad saw that, right?
No.
Your dad never saw it.
No, bro. I remember I was making TikTok money. I was making 10 bands a month. I had given up the weed. I was making 10 legal $1,000 a month on TikTok. I remember I saw my dad a week before he died. And one of the last conversations I had with him, I was like, I'm going to be rich, Dad. Like, if you can just hang on, like, don't kill yourself. Because he was talking about killing himself. I'm like, don't kill yourself if you can just hang on. Like, I promise you I'm going to be rich. I'm going to get you out. He was living in a shitty Section 8 apartment at the time. I was like, I'm going to get rich, Dad, and I'm going to move you out of here, and you're going to get, like, your own spot, and it's going to be great. And I remember him grabbing me on my shoulder and being like, even if you get rich, that's your money, that's not my money. And he was like, this is what I'm doing. And talking about, like, he's going to drink himself and smoke himself to death. And, yeah, boom, and then he did. So, and then I didn't make Overdose until, shit, my dad died. It must have been, like, 2 months later or 3 months later until I dropped Overdose.
And did that influence the musical change?
I already had changed kind of. I was already kind of making music like that, thankfully. Luckily, before that, like, when I started getting paid on TikTok, music became, oh, I just love this.
Yeah.
I don't even care. You don't have to listen to it no more. I wasn't even promoting it on my page. I might promote it in a funny skit sometimes. Like, you know, I like, there was people that would, you know, they thought that, like, that was my thing, was promoting my music. But, like, nah, I just didn't really fuck with it until Overdose, really. Until, like, that song, like, started going viral. And it was kind of like, I didn't even want, like, that song, I never promoted that song. That was just, like, straight, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm posting about being like, what the fuck? Can't believe you guys are fucking with this. And everybody just carried that song, you know? And I tried not to milk it, and I didn't want to make that my whole personality, you know? And shit like that. But that song just, like, carried itself. And I still struggle with promoting my music because, like, there's nothing worse than like, there's nothing where like I'm a real artist and like you'll never be able to take that away from me. They'll never be able to take that away from me. Nobody on the internet will, no phone screen will, no Instagram page. Nobody will ever be able to take that away from me. I'm a real artist. I love my music. I love writing. I write music and I physically have reactions. I'll be shaking or I'll be crying or I'll be having chills. Like I'll have a physical reaction. That's because I love music so much. So nobody can ever take that from me. And it's a struggle to be like trying to be like take me serious. Like please listen to this song. Please listen to it, bro. Like come on. Look, people are starting to listen to it. You should listen to it too. Oh look, come on. My song's cool. Come on, I hate hearing a song I like and then going to their page and realizing, oh, you're not even a real artist. You're just a guy that's trying to promote this song that I related to, kind of.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, whenever I hear the song, I'm like, fuck that song because I related to it what I thought you were, but you're not that. You're a dude that's like trying to get famous and you're a dude that's like trying to, and I never want to be that. So I still struggle with like promoting my own music to this day. You know, because I believe in myself more than just like trying to make the internet believe in it.
Yeah.
But it's so crucial to like
the game.
Be this guy that is, you know, on the internet doing these things. So I try to find a balance, but I don't think I've really like I'm not totally there, you know.
So what does success look like?
To me, success, bro, I would say like if I'm sitting and I'm successful, my sister has a house, my mom has a house. My mom is like gonna like yeah, like I want my mom to die like in her house that she owns, not like in some rental or like some spot. And then my nephews are in college and they all got vehicles that they can drive. And yeah, bro, that would be successful to me. So but that means that, you know, $10 million is not like the goal. Like it's like property and like fucking like the peace of mind. The best thing about having money right now, and I'm not like some rich dude, trust me, I'm not like some super rich guy, but you know, the best thing about having a little bit of money is like being able to eat whenever you want. I can eat anything I want whenever I want. I grew up not doing that. I grew up I never ate out. Like I never was able to eat out. I only got to eat out if my homies' mom's friends gave them extra money for me. Like
you got
I didn't
some
get
McDonald's
that.
money,
yeah,
like
bro.
here, like
and I never got that. And there was not even restaurants like that. So that's the best part about being like that. I'm successful if my nephews can grow up and be like 16 years old and be like, hey, like I'm gonna take my friends to go get dinner tonight, and
Gotcha.
like they can do shit like that, you know.
Yeah. Have you had good sushi yet?
Oh yeah.
When was the first time you had good sushi?
Dude, low key, actually. Whenever I was in high school, I was dating this girl, and there's a sushi spot in Springfield, which is like an hour away from where I grew up, and it's still my favorite sushi to this day. We went in high school. She showed it to me.
Springfield?
Yeah, it's a good sushi spot. I promise.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little skeptical.
No, it's fire, bro. But it's cream cheese sushi though. And
come on,
crab.
what do you?
Yeah. So
no,
you're talking
no,
about
I'm
like
talking about
you're
like
talking about like fucking raw salmon.
you
and
went
shit
to
like
like
that. It's cool.
raw salmon. Yeah, that's sushi, bro.
Like, it's
What are you
cool.
talking? Have you?
It's cool.
I mean, you've had.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the spot in LA I went to. I went to this famous spot in LA.
Nobu.
I've been to Nobu, but that's
And-
not, it was cool.
It didn't blow your mind.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I'm also kind of a
You got a pure city
dude.
palate.
These guys are rich though, bro. Like the first time I hung out with Juan and them in Miami, we were eating at Mr. Chow.
Yeah.
You ever had that?
Yeah.
And that's my favorite spot to eat now. So like, I'm low key kind of like a diva ass bitch, and like Nobu was like kind of annoying low key. The service sucked. But that's just like me, you know, that's me saying it from a spot of like, you know, Mr. Chow. Before I sit down, they pull the seat out.
Yeah.
So Nobu, I ate it in Malibu, and it was like I didn't love it, and I guess I didn't get the right shit though. Everybody says I didn't get the right stuff, but it was cool though. That's where I like to do that. That's my favorite thing to do is get dressed up with the homies and go eat somewhere super nice. That's like my favorite thing to do.
And how about like partying and stuff? Like, are you like, how do you manage that on the road? Because the tour schedule is intense.
Yeah, bro. We don't get down like that, bro. We just work, man. It's kind of cool. Like I'm super humbled every time
You
I
can
get
turn
on
it
the bus.
off.
I'm
Some
I'm
people.
fucking mad hoes. No, I'm just playing. No, man, I'm humbled when I get on the bus because I'm with my boys from back in the day, and I'm not always
really?
Dave on the bus, and like, and a lot of the time, like these guys, you know, they're not in the music industry. Like they want to go to bed and shit. We do hang out and drink sometimes, but like, really, bro, I'm not living like that. I'm not living that like crazy tour party life. Because
a lot of dudes in your situation would.
yeah,
And
like
they have.
I want to be successful though, bro. I want to be an actual rock star. I want to do a headlining tour of stadiums, and then you're gonna have to wear it. Once I'm on a headlining tour of stadiums,
Then I'll call you.
all right, then call me back and be like, hey, does Abe got a therapist and what's going on? Because then I'm gonna be throwing fucking TV's out the window. But right now, I can't fuck it up.
Right.
I mean, like, I have this story where after the show, one time we were like kind of buzzing and we were hanging out in the bus behind the venue, and I ran back into the venue and stole this like 5 foot or like 4 foot lava lamp that they let us use. I stole that from them, and I took it all the way home, and we used it at like some other shows, and it was like, that was like some fun rock star shit.
That's as close as you'll get.
Yeah, but then they called us and they were like, just bring it back.
No.
Juan calls me, he's like, hey, did you guys steal I'm like, yeah, we might have
Juan was
accidentally.
pissed. I already know he was pissed. I already know
And
he
you know
was
the cool
pissed.
thing about Juan though is he's on my head about certain things sometimes, but he lets me live though. You know, I told him, I was like,
he's
that was some
parenting
rock star
a teenager
shit. And he's
right
like,
now.
all right,
He can deal with another teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure Cruz is cake compared to me. He probably go home and he probably tell Cruz, you are such a good kid. He's probably like, damn,
Get into coding, Cruz.
Yeah, like, thank you so much for coming home on time.
Yeah.
My 14-year-old or however old is he 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was 14, yeah. My brother died at 15. Ain't that some shit? Cruz is a baby. I was that age, bro. Crazy to think about that, man. Because you see, like, when I was a kid, 15 years old is, like, even my homies, like, 15 years old was, like, kind of older. You're starting to, some of my friends worked. You're starting to have to get a job. You know, you're on the farm at least. And like, you ever heard of a farmer's license?
No.
When you're 14 years old in Kansas City, or in Kansas and Missouri, you can get a license to drive on the farm.
Only on the farm. Yeah.
So like my homies would have that. They'd be 13, 14 years old driving trucks to school and shit. And so like 15 was kind of like, I didn't feel like I was a kid at the time. But looking back, I'm like, damn.
How could that? Yeah, you
That's
see,
like a baby.
You talk to a 14-year-old now, you're like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah, skibbity toilet, motherfucker, Riz and shit like that. Yeah, bro. What the fuck, dude? It's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, so insane.
Man, I'm excited for you, bro.
Dude, thank you, bro.
This has been really, really cool.
Man.
Like learning your story, man.
Dude,
I'm
thanks.
like just really impressed.
You're great
with...
at this, bro.
Oh, thank you.
You're
bro.
amazing.
I appreciate
Seriously,
saying that,
you
man.
are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Like I'm genuinely curious in your journey and where you've been and kind of where you're gonna go. Like I don't know, man. You remind me of a lot of people that I've met. You know, like not only from like back home, but even folks I know that are killing it right now, selling out tours, stadiums, all that stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a connective tissue between you and some of these guys.
Thank you, bro.
It's really cool. I just need to know a couple more things though.
Let's do it.
Honest Ave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this is on the internet somewhere, but just like real quick, where is that from?
Yeah, I'm at a house party. I'm 15. I'm in the basement. These two cool kids from the town over, they're making rap songs, and they're like, "We need another verse. We need another verse." My friends run outside. They know that me and my homie freestyle. They're like, "Come in, like they need a verse. Come freestyle one." We go down there. They're like, "You need a rap name first." 20 minutes go by. Where they're asking me personal questions. They say, "Who's your favorite president?" And I don't know why they said that, and I don't know why I said Abraham Lincoln. And they were like, "Oh, all right, cool. They were like, Honest Abe, that's what's up." And then they were like, Honest Abe. And I was like, no way, that is so sick. And then we did it. We ran with it. Honest Abe. I've been called Honest Abe ever since. And then my homie, we came up with his name too. His name was Breezy.
Whoa.
We call him Breeze. Never stopped.
Is he one of the guys that's with you?
Nah, fuck no. He's got 2 kids. He's killing it. He's like supporting a wife and kids. He can't be on the road. He would if he could. But
That's probably my favorite song of yours.
which one?
You gotta forgive me because I forget the name, but it's
Growing Pains?
Yeah, Growing Pains. The track you put out recently.
That's what's up.
Because like I don't know, I even feel that on a personal basis. Like, yo, I'm on the road. I'm following my dream. My friends are back home. They got kids, but for some reason they're more happy than I am.
Yeah.
Like-
that gave me goosebumps.
Like I feel that. Where
Yeah,
like
it's like, I don't know. Yeah. It's
I'm
like,
up here like grinding my ass off. Like I'm killing myself every day working. Like I'm flying to Charleston tomorrow at 7 a.m. to go do shows. I'm going to Atlanta after that. Like I'm like
yeah,
in the grind because I'm trying to still come up.
right.
But I look at my friends. Like I'll call my buddies who I went to high school with.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm walking the dog by the lake.
Right. Got my feet kicked up with my boy laughing in front of me, telling me I'm a great father.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my girl just kissed me on the cheek and brought me a hot meal.
Yeah. Goofing
Yeah,
around.
and I'm like, damn,
and I'm like, how are you making money? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
I sell insurance. You know?
Yeah, or whatever. You know?
I have a good job. I make money.
Yeah,
I'm
but
living.
you know what, bro? You know what they think? I'm sure your friend is thinking, you know, he's having a little argument with his wife and he's thinking, damn. Like, bro's on the road right now, living his dream, you know, doing comedy shows and making people laugh. And, like, it's never going to be good enough, man.
It's true.
It all
it's true.
sucks.
Yeah, it all sucks. Shit, you know,
Whatever.
life's shit wall to wall.
Yeah.
Then you die. But
Yeah.
it is that song though. Just like it resonated with me. I was like,
Thanks,
oh wow,
bro.
I definitely feel that. Like,
Thank you, bro.
I can't really connect with like you know a lot of the you know other traumatic things you've gone through, but that song specifically, like I just felt like resonated.
I just like ooze trauma. Huh? Like anywhere I go, it's always like this too. I can't wait to get to the point in my career where it's like everybody just knows.
But that's why you're funny.
Thanks. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it is
you
like
know,
100%.
bro,
Like
yeah,
you cope
yeah.
with it. Like I feel
Yeah.
the same way. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been through nearly the same shit, but
Well,
like,
bro, it's all the same though, man. There's never like, dude. The thing about that motherfuckers don't get is that like the shit that I went through was crazy for me, but like there was something that happened in your life that was crazy for you, and that's the same crazy. Like I never like whenever I was a kid, I fucking hated rich people. I hated anybody that had bread. If you were a kid that had good parents, I did not fuck with you.
Yeah.
If you like I was telling Juan, I never went out to eat like solo with my parents. I never had like one-on-ones with my parents. You know, maybe I had one or two, and it was a coupon I got for my birthday. My parents used to make me coupons. It would be dinner with dad. It would be movie with mom.
Yeah.
And like I would use a coupon, hey dad, and sometimes he would say no, motherfucker, like dead ass. And so that's how I'd hang with my parents. Hey, dad, I got this coupon. Let's go watch a movie. Like, and sometimes he'd be like, no, I'm not feeling it. And I'm like, fuck you. I've had this for a year.
a check bounced.
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck? So I know. So I hated them, but I'm growing in to realize like everybody's shitty is the same shitty.
I mean, there's a saying. This guy Viktor Frankl, he's a psychologist that wrote this book, Man's Search for Meaning. In the book, he has this line where he says, "Suffering is like a gas. Like it consumes the space that it's in.
Yeah.
So whatever different type of suffering you have, like it just fills up that space.
Same space.
And so whether like you went through what you went through, or you're a kid in a war zone somewhere, which is worse.
That's exactly.
Or like you're someone that got your sister died, and that, it was like a car accident, but you had like a good family.
Yeah.
Like that's all suffering,
It's all
and
the
it
same
all fills
suffering,
you up
bro.
in the same way. And obviously, it exists on a spectrum, and people process it differently. But like that pain people feel is a pretty universal feeling, and I think a lot of your music really taps into that pain that I think is really cathartic for people to listen to.
Thank you, bro. Maybe one day I'm gonna make a song that makes people feel good.
Yeah, what
like one time.
Yeah, what about like a Pharrell? We need like a happy.
Oh,
yeah.
'Cause I'm happy. Come on, man. Never that though.
Honestly, you know who does a good job with that? Dom Fike.
Dominic Fike.
Dom Fike will do a Miami Boy.
Oh, you know Dom?
I mean, I met him.
Call him Dom. That sounds pretty. Yeah, you know who
No,
really does well with
I
that?
don't know.
My boy Dom. Dom.
I don't know.
Dommy Dom.
I met him a couple times. I have friends that know him, but he does a good job of making like real music, talking about his crazy experience.
It feels good though.
But it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think there's a way, and I think you're gonna hack it because eventually you're gonna be doing these shows that are huge, and you're like,
hopefully,
oh, I need to open with something poppy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we'll get to some of the other shit, but like I think you're gonna figure out how to curate the show now that you're going through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on the way for that.
But Ave, this has been awesome, brother.
Dude, been real as fuck, man.
Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. When you're back in New York and you're doing some big theater, I would love to have you back.
Yeah.
And eventually when you're at MSG, man, give me some tickets.
Hey, same with you though, bro. This pod, what's up? This is like the foundation.
We're cooking
for something huge.
We're on our way.
You're great at this shit, man.
We'll get there.
Yeah, you're gonna be great, bro.
Let's look back on this in a few years.
Thank you so much. Word.
Appreciate you.
My man.
If you've made it to the end of this episode, that's because you rock with us. And for that, we rock with you. You are sophisticated. You enjoy honest, true communication, a highbrow type of person that understands this. History is not just dates and names. It is a tapestry of human triumph and tragedy. From the day Nostradamus made his first prophecy to the morning Paul Revere took his midnight ride, from ancient oracles to modern revolutionaries. That is why I need you. If you have not already, please sign up for Today in History, our free newsletter. Today in History brings you the stories that matter, the moments that changed everything, and the secrets hidden in time. Join thousands of history enthusiasts who get their daily journey through time. Don't let another day of history pass you by. Take the conversation to your inbox. Sign up now through the QR code or link in the description. Today in History, because history's stories shape tomorrow's world. Thank you for watching the episode. We'll see you next time.